I just walked in to make you smile. I'm Josh, but you already know me. DM on Twitch, Pirate for Life. Says Cove is where you find me. And it brings me more excitement than Frank F. Borman II on the 21st of December, 1968, to welcome you back to Corsair's Cove and a new season in my Humblewood world for some more of Elements and Evil. If you try, then you can find yourself a Daria. Ask nice and she might even do a drawing for ya. John's a craze, not just a phase. John's in a craze, not just a phase. Feels like he's been around forever. Ooh, Karen's going too fast. Racing so hard, you know she won't last. Don't you know, or can't you see? Slow it down, read the signs, so know you know where Brendan's going. Stop right now. Thank you very much, because we need to talk about these lovely folks. There we go. Yeah. Daria, talk about yourself. Do it properly this time.
Now I remember who I am. Now I remember. I think I'm Daria. I think I'm an artist. I play Julio Switchgear here on the channel, and I do draw sometimes. You know, the song reminded me of what is.
You normally struggle to remember otherwise. That's a shame.
I'm glad that I was able to remind you of your own identity. John, who the heck are you?
Hi, I'm John, and I think Karen and I are the two people who haven't mocked the DM singing, so I think we'll survive today, hopefully. Yet. And we'll kill the others. So yeah, I'm a long-time friend of the show, playing Bron, ready to go, ready to kill some of my party members, I guess.
Oh yeah. Karen, who the heck are you?
Hello, I'm Karen, sometimes known as the Mother of Bunnies. I am a performer, a writer, an internet addict. One day I will get help. But today is not that day, because I'm here on the internet to play Kesh Weave. You can also sometimes find me hanging out here on Tuesdays playing video games. If you've turned up the last few times I've done it, you've watched me get increasingly frustrated with the shenanigans of Discworld 2 mortality bites, because sometimes the leaps of logic, they're really big, and they're over a canyon full of crocodiles, and it's just really hard. And it's just like, well, I've worked out all these bits of what is clearly meant to go together, but then apparently I need to go get the librarian who's an orangutan, otherwise this plan won't work at all.
Yeah. So you need to find somebody to be a pantomime horse with you at one point. So that you can sneak close to the Elven Queen, because she doesn't like humans, but she'll accept unicorns. And so you find yourself a pantomime horse, modify it to look like a unicorn, and then you have to find somebody else to be the other half. And the animation of the orangutan librarian from the university being the front half of a pantomime horse, but not putting its head where the horse's head is. It's got its arms holding the horse head up while it is the torso. I'm just like, excellent. No notes. The animation, which is very awful, but it's bad because it's old, not because it's bad.
It's from the 90s, like, come on.
Yeah.
Nothing about
you played the Curse of Monkey Island?
Good.
You played the Curse of Monkey Island?
No, she hasn't yet. She will. I'll get her on that one.
Similar leaps of logic wired, yeah. The rubber chicken with a pulley in the middle.
I was gonna say, if you really wanted to torture yourself, Karen, you should go back and play like all the old Sierra games on stream. Where, like, if you don't do, you can get to a point where if you didn't get the one pixel specific object 5 hours of gameplay ago, you just lose.
Yeah.
You cannot continue the game.
But nor can you go back and get it.
Yeah. Why would I want to die?
Yeah.
I think possibly the biggest problem is that Rincewind, the character you're playing, is voiced by Ereq Idle. Wonderfully, might I add. But if you try and do something with an object that isn't the one specific thing that you're supposed to do with that object, he will sass you.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're standing there clicking on all the things, trying to work out what the fuck you're supposed to do with the pot of glue, and he's just like, there's no point putting glue on that. And I'm like,
the writing on the other
eventually,
hand.
I'm going to put glue on something that's really wacky, and you'll just go for it, Rincewind, you irritating little prick.
And it was. You glued the horn to the front because it's a honker. It's like a squeaker.
Yeah. I glued the hooter I've been carrying around for half the game to the horse costume.
The front of the pantomime horse to make it look like a unicorn, which didn't in any way make it look like. But I
love
really
this,
quite
yeah.
enjoyed the self-aware Monty Python references throughout.
There's a stoning.
There's a stoning, and he's just like, this is there's an argument whether it's parroting or parroting. And then he gets crushed by a giant piece of rock candy, and then starts doing the parrot scare, which he isn't in. Anyway, Brendan, who the heck are you?
Oh, amazing.
Hello, I'm Brendan. I am 100% straight according to Andrew Tate because I do not have a wife that
Nice.
I love. If you have a wife and you love her, then you are mega gay, and stop that naughty. Yeah, we did a poll of everyone offline about this, including Dario, who correctly stated that if she loved her wife, that she would be gay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm very traditional like that, guys.
Yeah.
And also I look forward.
Oh, sorry. Was I supposed to be me in that scenario? Woman?
No.
Me?
No, it is.
Woman?
No, if we're talking about
Woman.
Andrew Tate, so what women think about other women is not relevant.
Yeah. Okay. No, I was putting myself in the shoes of a man, and
Yeah.
if I enter,
woman.
how would they say in French? A poussée. I'm gay
It's
because that's
the
not
pussy.
that's not manly. I don't know.
Oy.
Anyway, happy Pride.
Happy Pride, yes. Wife love isn't love.
By the way, Karen, I
Yes?
am aware culturally that there are lots of like really obscure secrets in that Discworld game, so I'm
Mhm.
currently looking them up.
I have no idea where that sentence was going.
Where's the tangent emote?
yeah.
We need it again. Where is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. You should follow a guide, not to solve
she's
the
going.
game, but to do this this crazy shit. One secret gets you back into the first Discworld game. Anyway, it's a
Ooh.
thing. Yeah.
I'm going to look this up. I've been cheating intermittently whenever I've got too mad.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
like, screw this, I'm going to look up a clue.
Look, if following a guide helps you to enjoy the game, then I don't think there's any problem with that.
Not like there are achievements. Having to use the Windows. She's having to use a DOS emulator to play the thing.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
pre-Windows, this game. I need to remind our group of rocket scientists, Brad Pitt lookalikes, and car owners that comprise our regular audience to please like, follow, and subscribe to all the things, you bloody champions. We have all the exclamation mark socials. We have a YouTube where you can hang out with us, where you can watch all the episodes you may have missed, and we've got a Discord where you can hang out with us there. We are YouTube. No, we are out of this. Sirenscape is gracing your ear holes right now. At least I hope so. I can hear it. If not, it's just going on in my head. If you want to support any of the people who support us, you can head on over to Trollord Games at this link there. They're wonderful folks. They support the online TTRPG space really well, and they make some beautiful things. And we have Woodenforge as well, who also do both of those things. And Karen and I are going down to Winterfest in weeks, and hope to see Woodenforge ads there as well, because they also support that because they're legends. So go check out woodenforge.com/Corsair's to find yourself wooden tabletop accessories. You bloody champions. Guys, what the absolute heck happened last time? We actually didn't organize. Karen did last week, so she's off the hook. Who wants to do it?
I can do it.
Excellent.
I remember. Yes, so what happened is, after the tumultuous trip to the coast, fighting a dragon, befriending a dragon, resurrecting a dragon,
Loving a dragon.
we went back home. Loving a dragon,
Pretending
fucking a
one of the
dragon,
other
marrying a
people was the
dragon,
dragon.
being too straight to fuck a dragon
Dead
after
or not.
marriage. Yeah.
Julio was definitely. I mean, he was
yeah.
implying an awful lot of stuff about that other dragon's ass. So yeah.
Listen. A man gotta have his hobbies. But anyway,
he's dead. I'm sorry.
We got back home, and a few things happened. First of all, we don't know this, but Ereq had a powerful, strange dream where he communed with the Older Heart, and Older Heart was basically, "Hey, you either help me or shit's fucked." And Eric's like, "All right, I'll help you." And he.
I love that. That's what you got from that.
He's. Yeah, that's what I got. And he continued floating in his goo like a goo little boy. Next we had Julio was doing some religious stuff, talking with Synod. I don't know, I wasn't listening to that idiot. But also we have Bron working on his rally bot, which is very fun, and doing some fat pod projects. And the interesting thing happened this session. Not Ereq waking up, that shit doesn't matter. But what really happened is a sexy bandit pirate came to town, an old friend of Kesh, and we were subjected to 2 hours of this married couple flirting at each other in our D&D game. I was very uncomfortable. No, he's fun, he's cool, and he brings interesting information about the issues on the borders of Humblewood. Hescalia is drawn to these weird storms, and we know that Hescalia is air-aligned. That means the airplane is doing some fuckery, which we have known since season before last one, because the opera singer that tried to kill Kesh was also like, oh, the winds, the voices, all that. So she talked to Hescalia, got some info, and we found out that there is monsters on the border of Humblewood.
Elemental.
Something. We haven't gotten there yet, but people are misplaced out of their houses, and the sexy pirate that Kesh did not smooch this time said, "Don't worry, I'm gonna get to them. I'm gonna help them with the resources." Also, we, for the first time ever, saw an elemental of material plane, elemental of nature, of Older Heart, because when Bron and Julio came to the chambers under the Older Heart, Ereq was being touched by a strange creature that used to be one of the souls that we brought to Older Heart, and we let it touch him. We said it's fine, actually, and he woke him up, and Ereq came back to life. Fortunately for us, his personality didn't really change. The only thing that we did notice is that he forgot what hope is, and we brought that up in conversation, masterfully so. Whoever did that is a genius. And strangely, Ereq's reaction was very powerful and very destructive. Fire that burst out of his eyeballs and nostrils turned into black goop, and I told him to go to the doctor, but he hasn't, and that's where we are. And after that, Ereq's grandma, who is the president right now, called us up and said, "Ding, ding, 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 I gotta see Kesh and whatever idiots she's hanging out with." So that's where we're going.
That is accurate. There was a couple of other little
What
bits.
do you mean that is accurate? Everything's accurate.
The rest of it wasn't inaccurate. You missed there was a couple of other things I would point out. Bron did spend some time making called muddle. Or muffle, sorry, muffle. Yeah, he didn't just spend his time on the rally bot. He also did help with a little bit of alchemy. Helped Bob the Tender make some methadone.
Yes, the drugs.
Yeah.
Bob the Tender. Can we fix it? Yes, we can.
Bob the Tender. Can we drug them?
Can we sniff it? Yes, we can.
Can we sniff it? Yes. Should you listen? No, you shouldn't. And yeah, Kesh's super sexy boyfriend. Hashtag not a pirate. But like a smuggler, thief adjacent, pirate adjacent. But legally speaking, not. And the other thing, there is now rumors around that Kesh has dragon.
Ah, yes. Strange how that happened.
Yeah, who could
No
have
one
called
knows.
that?
Alrighty, well, marvelous, mateys. So, mateys, may your teenage crush offer to finger bang you on the back of his pet whale, and all your downtime activities involve the creation of a state-sanctioned artificial narcotics, as we head tremulously at first, and then with mounting heat and passion, and possibly whales, into the Humblewood.
Mounting is right.
Mounting, yes.
What the fuck was that?
Did you miss the entire
Possibly
last
my
session,
favorite
Brendan? Look
intro
in.
I've written. Finger bang your
Sorry, that
teenage
wasn't
crush.
nice of
Finger
me.
bang you on the back of a whale. Yes, Kesh, you and your team have been summoned to meet with the council speaker at your own. It's like at your own convenience, but when the president says at your own convenience, it really does mean like that.
Yeah.
She does mention in the letter as well. There have been reports. I need to talk to you about some of yours, but also some other ones. So yeah, what do you do?
Well, I'm a little concerned about Ereq. So, and I believe we were kind of talking about taking him to the tenders to get him sorted out. So at this moment, since Iari has not specified that I have to come see her right now, I've got some wiggle room. So Kesh is going to be like, Ereq, we should take you to see the tenders because this is weird. I'm not comfortable with it. You're clearly not comfortable with it. And it should be investigated ASAP. Is that okay?
Yes, certainly. If all of you feel strongly enough about it, then absolutely. I had asked for some of the senior tenders to be gathered anyway. I have my own things to discuss with them. So yes, let's go to the tender hall then.
We'll throw lapses in memory into the pot. Okay.
Very well. Cool. You head to the tender halls. The local those tenders that are those or at least a have, but it's not any strong. But Havel and Bob are both there. I enjoy
Gabby
those.
as well.
Gabby actually isn't on. If you want Gabby there, you could ask for her to be included, but
Yes,
she's not.
yeah.
I
think I named her.
Right, sure.
Yeah,
Gabby will be there as well. Then there'll be 3 other senior. I'll name them now because I wrote some spare names to, just in case. So there'll be Marion Hedgeworth and Honey Merlot. Our servant. Honey Merlot is a servant, and Uma. And Karen, you want to throw a third one at me?
So what was the surname of Honey?
Merlot.
Honey Merlot.
Merlot, as in Merelo.
Great.
In fucking live performance, I saw John get the spelling like, huh? Oh, like no words needed, but I saw it in your face.
I have another name for you.
Yeah.
Nicola Gravestone.
Gravestone.
Or Nicholas, if you want a male.
I like
NPC.
Nicola. Nicola Gravestone. And Nicola Gravestone
That sounds badass.
It does, yeah. Nicola Gravestone is a joke.
Nice.
I like to think that like she breaks rocks for fun,
Yeah.
just to keep her strength up. You know?
I got a couple rocks.
Um,
I mean, am I there?
should I? Yeah, I mean, is Julio there? And also, should I make it a boy?
Why
That wouldn't stop anybody.
Make it Nico or Nick, and make it gender neutral.
So yeah. Let's say Nick.
Yeah.
They go by Nick, and they are
Nick Gravestone.
Nick Gravestone.
You know I'm down with that.
Yeah, that's even better for who. Yeah. You a
And the
boy or a
kids.
girl? Do you want to kiss me and find out how you feel later?
That's not going to help Julio.
Cool. So they are there. Havel says, Ereq, glad you're back. How do you feel?
Slightly out of sorts, as you can imagine.
I'm sure, yeah.
Thank you all for gathering so quickly. I have my own business to discuss with you, but what's her fucking rank now? Colonel Glitterweave has her own business that she wanted to address everyone with. Well, I mean, it's kind of my business too, but
Bob wanted
Colonel,
to give
take it. Oh
everybody
yeah, Bob.
An update as well. So I think unusual to tender council plus here and hope. An interesting agglomeration.
And by the way, Bob, just before we get onto formal business, I just wanted to say I am really happy to hear of your recent remarriage. The fact that you have found a new family after experiencing such tragedy, I find to be really inspiring. Some people would say somewhat insensitive after losing your first family so soon, but I say bosh to them. You enjoy your
And
life.
a member of Synod too. That's you moving up in the world, honestly.
So anyway, Bob, tell us about the drugs.
Bob definitely married the high scrap.
Yes, sir. Now we have an in with the high scrounger. You played into our plans, silly DM. You fool.
Oh,
Chat, did you just see how much lore they fucking made up? Oh, by the way, this, and it's... Deal with it. Here's your world, we're just gonna build bits of it for you. There. That's for names, not backstories. Alright, yeah, Bob is married to the High Scrounger, who can't be a Mapatch because Bob isn't one. And we don't marry across state lines. I'm pretty confident Bob is a Gallus.
Not anymore, clearly.
I like the idea that I like the High Scrounger isn't a Mapatch. I quite like that.
And
yeah.
Bob, the fact that
No.
married a Mapatch, despite all of the connotations.
That's right, Bob.
I've already said no.
Got this.
Bob takes it with a smile, and he said, "My wife and I were, my first wife were always, and I were always in care of my."
Had a wife.
Hey, Bob.
oh Jesus.
We're gonna die.
Hey,
We're gonna die.
Bron is going to lean over to Julio and whisper, "What is going on?"
Legitimize this as being entirely in character, John.
You're making it worse.
Bron just looks at the wall, which suddenly goes opaque, and a large internet screen of just
I whack him in the back of the head. Don't stop that.
Fourth wall break inside a fourth wall
Don't
break.
the fourth wall. Don't do it.
Sorry.
Don't pierce the veil.
Oh.
And then he looks back at the room, and everybody seems faded and like see-through. Am I real?
Is any of it real?
I
Oh
renounce the
God.
veil. I renounce the fourth wall.
You
Okay.
see 5 rectangular boxes with faces.
Anyway,
you can no fur on your chin. All right.
400 psychic damage.
Kesh is like, I'm so sorry to hijack whatever this meeting was supposed to be. Nothing alarming has come up that really has driven all other worldly concerns from my mind. Ereq doesn't remember hope. The
I
fire.
considered
No.
going. I considered going as in the concept of. Oh right, no, I see.
Not
There
the
is
concept,
general.
the bird.
There is general
The
consternation.
flaming bird. He has literally no memory of it existing. And when we tried to make him think about it really hard, he set the roof on fire.
How badly on?
That happened.
Not
Spencer's
quite.
going to be pulling some overtime.
Yeah, it wasn't actual fire. It turned into sludge halfway through.
That's arguably worse.
Yeah.
Depending of
Yeah.
how Eric's.
Turned into tar specifically, I think. Something we've seen before.
Burning tar.
Have we?
Yeah. Well, not to you, but before we met you, Bron, we had a whole adventure of getting into a jail and destroying it. It was a lot.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Right. And I suppose, I mean, this is troubling. Somebody's messed with. But I suppose, what do you want us to do?
Well, if it's some sort of magical thing, that's your arena, right? You can poke around inside his head.
I mean,
I brought them here because they asked to be brought here, but I understand that this is not what they think it is.
it's not really firefighters. Oh, I mean, medical is not really us. We obviously, healing magic and what we do is necessarily counterindicated, but it's really not sort of our. I mean, even the hobby project Ereq gave Bob isn't really what we. If you were, I would have sent you guys to the avium, and I would do the same with this. That's a magical malady if you think it is.
I
Ereq
think
is,
where it does become irrelevant, and perhaps entirely because of what I've been dabbling into, but the running theory is that it is related to our interplanar journeys, particularly to the plane of death.
I mean, if
Which
you took
I always maintained was a bad idea. I just want that out there.
Oh no. If you took in fact, no, it wouldn't be him. It would be Nick Gravestone would say. If you took an elemental not aligned to the plane, to that plane, even housed inside of you, that might have an effect on the element. Not necessarily a good one. Did your firebird do anything plane, or did it stay in you?
I literally cannot answer that question.
You can't remember, but I suppose the others can.
She acted as a giant flaming decoy while we escaped.
Held off a lot of enemies.
She took some damage, but she wasn't killed. This is important. She wasn't dead.
Do you know that?
Actually, you don't know that. Kesh would have seen her bounce back or not. Saw her go out. I don't think there was ever any particular indication that. No visual indication.
Okay, I've just been thinking about this a little harder, and I am not sure if she's still alive. I think she is, but I can't verify that. And because Ereq can't remember, he can't tell me. But even if she was dead, he wouldn't just forget she existed.
No.
Well,
I hope not.
good one. I'm coming at this from something of a disadvantage because I'm missing context, which I really should have. But if Havel, you can probably say better than anyone, was there a difference in my ability before and after this connection with this elemental? Because not to humble brag or anything, I'm still quite powerful.
Eric's probably the
if
most
this-
gifted magical. And
And if that is due to my connection with the elemental, and I'm still as powerful as I was beforehand, then that implies that something is still powering my magic.
I have no
Ooh.
basis for comparison. Your magic is. We all draw magic. Call it the weave. You know, there's various things. I think of it. But the inherent magic, the build of the world is raw magic. It was. Everybody sort of feeds off. Most magic comes from an element of that to a degree. Yours was always quite strong, Ereq, even before bonded with hope. I wouldn't have said. I would have. Hard to say. I didn't do a particularly like a study on you. We were somewhat busy with the whole fire and death thing at the time.
Remember when that was our biggest concern?
Oh, the days. You may well have had a power spike. Hard thing to measure. You've definitely gotten significantly competent. If anything, I would have said the most biggest catalyst in your life would actually be.
I didn't wipe his memory of anything.
No. But you work with him. His work with you, his capacity, his capabilities, what he has learned, his experience has been with you and Julio and recently Braun. No, I wouldn't say that you are the source of his magic, but his experience is with you, and would argue probably because of you. Other things be why he is good as he is, but it could well be.
Pavel, are you saying that the real elemental familiar are the friends we met along the way?
That would be convenient because then you could remember it.
Who is this woman? And why is she now? Just kidding. No, sorry, this is very serious. I shouldn't joke.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Bob.
The servant tender in the room, Honey, leans in. He's kind of been sitting back. He's got a bit of a Javier vibe. Sitting fingers in and says, have you learned the thing inside you? How did you talk to, or but how did he talk to for you? I am not being able to hard. How did he do talking?
Well, in his head, usually. Like, we could talk to her normally, but she couldn't really talk back. She could communicate with Ereq mentally to a certain extent.
I would suggest you go talk to creature, go either within or take to place where it is strong.
How do you go within? Sorry, what?
The problem here is that he does not. Perhaps dreamy ritual, sleepy ritual. What is his name?
I remember quite early on in our adventures together that Ereq went to the fire plane and saw something horrendous there and left very quickly. And I think someone was with him.
Ereq.
I don't remember. Yes, Benek. So Benek, another friend of ours, Braun, and Ereq went there, and I'm trying to remember how they did it, how they went there.
Oh, they went and stuck their stupid hands on a glyph.
I know. I remember that quite clearly.
They put their hands
I just
on
want
it.
to specify that Benek licked some fire magic blood voodoo.
Yes.
That was not then. That was
That's two different things.
afterwards at the tar place.
What, he's licking things bad now?
It made him a woman for like a week.
I say that like it's a
mean,
bad thing.
It wasn't bad. It was just it did something odd.
Fucking woman. Yeah.
And Nick Gravestone goes, "Oh, weird. I don't know what that would be like."
But yeah, there was a glyph. So maybe if we have one of those, because I remember when they came back, they mentioned that Hope warned them. Hope was able to talk on that plane, I think. I think that's what happened.
If is elemental, if fire, plane of fire.
Right.
I just want to put up my hand for a second and wave a little flag. The two options that you presented were journey within, whatever that means, but that seems like metaphysical, or go to the literal plane of fire. And for some reason, my friends seem to be leaning in that direction. Can we learn more about the inner journey, the journey inside?
Pelennar's travel, it does, I think, make sense a little. Pellennar travel is something they have experience with. They know how to. Whereas journey within, hippy-dippy, I don't understand.
Yep.
Let's do the hard, difficult, dangerous one.
Introspection's not really our bag.
Yeah, it's not mindfulness right off the bat, though.
I mean, we're all assuming we all have inner thoughts. I don't know.
No, all of us have a subconscious.
We have a dom conscious. Thank you very much.
Well,
That's what I would have said.
Should we maybe find a senior magical person to look at you first before we push you through a portal into the fire?
Or your own head.
Yes, so just want to clarify, you don't have anything more to say about the inner journey, because I really like that idea.
So yeah,
but I guess I can figure it out myself. I figured out literally everything else about the plans. Thanks, Council.
Hey, we gave you access. And Havel goes,
No,
"Hey,
to
I
be
gave
fair,
you
that
access
really
to the
was
library."
Yeah.
And very much, you were in charge here at the time. You were head of training. No one was giving you any orders at all. You did this on your own.
They get his ass.
Honey goes, perhaps.
Can encourage him.
Ritual. I can perhaps lead guided journey with. The only concern I have is you are seeking yourself. Don't know.
Yes.
How you find it. Potentially, at least as you. And Marion Hedgeworth, because I've got the names, says, what about the
Older Heart?
Well, we commune mentally with it. I'm assuming the implication is that if you communed mentally with it, it might be able to see if there was any sort of elemental activity in your
Kesh
brain.
Bosh, Ereq would never have communication with all the heart. He hates all the heart. And I remember back in the day when I was starting my religion, and
I
Ereq
remember
was
back in the
all
day
against-
before I
4
even
weeks
met
ago.
you, I had communed quite closely with the Older Heart. Thank you very much.
And we are tenders. That's kind of our whole thing, actually. Communing, worshipping, not so much, but we definitely look after the dark.
Let's not call the being that we live inside of and around, and which is rapidly ascending to godhood, the darn thing. That seems slightly disrespectful.
Godhood?
Oh, that you didn't tell them?
Did you?
No. What is?
You don't need to worry about that. It's fine.
What didn't I tell
When
them?
you say
Pope
rapid,
Julio?
Okay, fear not, fellow citizens of the Elder Heart. Pope, here for a quick Q&A. Yes, Aldehyde is becoming a god. Yes, it's all planned, and it's a good thing because it's really good in protecting us. We ferried up souls in there, and they're chilling, by the way. They are loving it.
How
Any
do you
questions?
know that? I know that you put souls in the
Um,
tree. I was there for that, but why?
We talked to one of them because he
Decently.
came back as an elemental, and he was like very chill about it. He helped bring Ereq back to life.
There is like a hush in the room. Gabby's beak is like hanging open a bit, like
I feel like
Oh,
now
God.
is the time. Thank you, friends, for bringing me here. I have my own business that I would like to discuss with the Tender Council.
Ereq, I'm gonna yes, not we do need to there's a sorry, we're all just processing this, I think. We knew you were making it more powerful, and because a lot of it wasn't you doing it, it was things happened that worked, and our understanding, I think, generally was this is the best way to resolve this bad situation. There was a whole two elemental nodes under three, and coming one that would have been bad, so you prevented that and kind of transmuted one of them into, and that's good. We're not, but godhood.
Yeah.
That's
Don't worry. This is all connected to with Synod. I've been very transparent.
Oh, I'm
with them.
so glad
And
that Godfathers know what you're doing. You didn't think about telling the people who actually keep the thing alive?
well, the thing is, we have Ereq with us, who has seen everything. I thought Ereq would tell you because, like 2 weeks ago, when we
Erek's
were
been
trying
unconscious
to
for a
get
week.
Everything off the ground. Yeah, but before that, he fucking stationed tenders in front of the sacramental like place, trying to stop me from coming. Which, by the way, dick move. But I've moved past this. I'm very magnanimous like that. But weren't your guys
at the time? In my defense,
the point being, you guys were there, see how powerful it grows. They don't they
Powerful,
have
sure.
like super
It's
senses
already a
and be like,
giant
"Oh."
tree. There's an it's a giant tree that can talk to people, has occasionally done so, has now a node in it, is growing out of the plane of life. Yes, very powerful. Not godhood is a different step, Mr. Switchgear. A very different step. That's super pass. Are you are the synod?
Switchgear.
Does the synod know the word you are using is God? And that's important because I want to be very specific. You are meaning supersede the Amaranth.
I think in the official paperwork I called it deity.
An important distinction, but you used the word God just now.
Well, what I think in my own spare time is no worry of synods, is it,
So you're just
Mr. Havel?
and if we are to really
No.
be scientific about this, technically speaking, in my studies of the planes themselves do really supersede the Amaranthine, and as an existing plane and one that is growing in strength, I think that in that respect, God is scientifically the correct term.
oh, almost certainly.
I don't find much comfort in that.
Well,
This is
But-
the God
you're
we
like
live in.
gaining points and losing points with me at the same time.
Oh, it's
You know,
just
that's really great,
semantics,
Julio. I
isn't
don't
it?
particularly care.
There's all the things you're saying. Generating elemental has own notes on own self. Weirdly, absorbing the souls of these are God behavior, not amaranthine. They don't do this.
Yeah.
A planar activity.
Gabby says, "Great, okay, so
Thank you, Gabby.
now we know, and knowing is half the battle, or at least the beginning of it. With this lot, Ereq, you'll keep us appraised of this, right? Going forward.
Yeah, Ereq, you'll keep them appraised of this, won't you?
Well, I really felt like I had been, but that's on me for not stating that explicitly on stream.
I think the deity thing is the news. Everything like we knew all of the events individually. It was more that's actually the goal. Is like we know Julio's been worshipping it, and not a bad thing to do. We kind of do it too in our own ways. Like we definitely revere it, we love it, we nurture it. But there's a line, you know, and you're on the other side of it with using words like deity.
Julio doesn't really believe in binaries.
No,
Yes,
except
yes.
that's
So
true.
last year.
And I suppose that is on me for not heavily, and explicitly discouraging Julio from doing so. Oh, wait, no, I did do those things. Actually.
Wow.
And it's worked
Yeah,
so
we're
well.
very successful. Yes.
This has been a great meeting. I'm so glad we did this.
Yeah. Okay, here's what I
Honey
will tell
Mellow
you
goes-
to
Sorry, you carry on.
to calm you guys a little bit. This I've been every step of the way. I've been communicating with the synod, and if you want, I will deliver the same information to you guys because nothing that I'm doing and my people are doing is any underhanded stealth tactics, but we are strengthening all the heart and the belief in all the heart. Whether it will be more powerful than the Amaranthine or not, I cannot say. I'm a very new pope. I'm new to this, but I strongly believe that. Okay, shush! I'm giving my. I have
Bob
a dream
says,
speech.
I think it's
But it
like
is
the
my
high
belief
scrounger
that
or
in-
something like a head of a particular branch of faith.
Okay, we know
it's
you
like-
got married. Let's just cool it
And
down.
he examines
stop
the
talking about your
ring on his
fucking
finger,
spouse.
like on his talon, like he's sitting playing, like
Yeah.
just thinking happy thoughts about his new missus.
But the point is, it's getting stronger, and that is good for us because horrible things are coming. The things I've been through, that's nothing compared to all the other shit that planes will throw at us. And we need something like this on our side.
They don't. Only thing.
Good.
Hey. Why now?
Why what? Why now?
I am hearing things. Souls of the. I am coordinating a mud stick tidal wave, white villages, all these. And at the
Yes, I'll tell
time
you
we
why.
are saying God is.
Yes.
I am just
Before
asking
all the
chicken
heart
and
came
egg.
into power. Well, I'll tell you my opinion. Before the Older Heart came into power, the material plane was free for all, free realm for them to use their power and send their agents. And as we're putting our foot down and saying no more, well, a bully's never happy when you push back, is it?
But the bullies. I am. I think path we are on. True, Miss. Then those people.
It is very
Now I see.
easy to put your head down and say, I won't do any more violence than has already been done. It's much more difficult to stand up and go through the sacrifice to stop the future generations from experiencing what we have.
Don't just sacrifice.
I'm trying to make us stronger so there's no more sacrifice needed.
Now I think I
Have a
esteemed
sound gate on, Quad. It might be that.
Esteemed colleagues and fellow counselors, this actually brings us to the reason that I asked for you all to be gathered in the first place, and I was intending to have this conversation with you in private first, but I feel like having everyone present is the most conducive to this conversation. Before I regained my consciousness, I had a vision, an incredibly vivid vision, which the older heart brought to me. I saw a vision of the older heart sheltering nations, of having oceans amongst its roots, of swatting away greater avatars of the fire plane as if they were flies. And we already were aware that the Older Heart had some level of sentience. The Older Heart effectively put it to me that either I was with it or against it. It specifically asked for me to help it bring balance to the planes and to the cosmos. Now, my concern is that balance for me is about keeping things even, of things happening in pairs. At the moment, there are 6 elemental planes and what we refer to as our material plane as the 7th, which is kind of central between them all. If we allow or empower the Older Heart, which really now is the plane that we're on, I don't think we are on the plane of the Older Heart, not the material plane, not the mortal plane. If we empower that to continue, then that is now 7 greater forces, which by definition cannot be in balance with each other. So my question then becomes, do we require an 8th greater planar power? Because I think that if all of us tried to stop the Older Heart from growing, if any of us wanted to, we would not be able to. So then, is it a question of whether we help the Older Heart, whether the Older Heart needs help at this point, or do we need to look towards creating an 8th power to balance the power imbalance that the Older Heart is going to create? Ooh. There's a lot there, which is why I wanted to bring it to you as like-minded individuals and experts in the planes and the elements.
The servant and sitting there and just says, your solution is create 8th god.
How else would you bring balance?
I have often heard that you do not think small, Mr. Ashbourne. What do you think of this, fair, Mr. Switchgear?
We have experience now, right? We did it once.
Oh, it's super easy. I want to be clear. I don't think you have done it yet.
Oh yes, I still haven't talked to Hath. I need to get on that. God, my itinerary has been busy.
Is it? So yes, okay, making an 8th god difficult, sure. That's about the understatement of the year. But instead, is it maybe a matter
very
of
close? with the 7th. So
to
if
making
you're
the 7th.
yeah,
Yeah. But is it maybe easier then about if we make it a matter of like positioning? So instead of having, like, we could still have 6 opposite pairs, and maybe like we have now, like the spoke of a wheel. So it's still balanced, but everything's sort of balanced around the central one. Is that a possibility?
We're all assuming that having 7 is a problem. We don't know that,
I
do
mean,
we?
they could be equally strong and balance each other out, I guess.
the other way. Actually, it would be or Nick. So could be that you would have to make the 7th as strong as the other,
Ooh.
which
If we were to envision the 6 elemental planes as fruit, that the Elder Heart as the 7th plane and the tree that it is connects, feeds from, and gives nutrients to, then with a little bit of influence in each of those realms, then that may be a potential solution.
Ereq, you have been telling me. Yeah, I'm sorry, I may have overreacted.
And just be clear, this isn't my end goal, but the train has started, and I think it would be irresponsible to try jump off.
We didn't push the boulder off the top of the hill. We just didn't,
Kind of guided as it
stop it once it had got going,
To be fair, I feel that Julio is at least a little responsible for pushing the boulder off the top of the hill, but now is not the
Damn
time to be
fucking
pointing
right I
literally
am.
gave the DM the idea. So yeah, it absolutely was his fault.
Just had a mental image of Ereq just
You're
picking Julio
welcome.
up by like the armpits and yeeting him under a bus.
Julio would gladly go. He's
Yeah.
proud of it. We know. Don't tell them that.
The other possibility is that universe requires balance, that it may naturally find rather than destroy what is putting it out of balance, it may create to balance out what is new.
That was very good. If you can, but
What I said, well, oh shit, I've got to remember how I said it now. Is it possible that if we do require pairs and that the universe requires balance, that rather than destroying what is putting it out of balance, it will create something to balance it? So rather than being like, oh, we must smash the older heart, it has ruined the balance, we'll be like, oh, this is new, let us make something to balance it.
universe,
Sounds?
you're asking, hoping the
If it thinks it needs one.
balance will always.
That implies that the universe has some kind of sentience, which, while is not unproven, is a really problematic thought.
Well, it's like
a deity above all the other.
But nature balances itself out sometimes.
Nature always finds its balance. Exceptionally.
life finds a way. Anyway, I trust all of you to continue have this conversation. I just need to go to the little tender's room. I will be right back.
Well, why don't we? Yeah. So, Karen, I would like to remind that I'm pretty sure you, Korvax mentioned.
Oh.
Yep.
Could you remind me what the prophecy is? I have notes somewhere, but it'd take me a while to find them.
With
Oh, right.
sorry, he mentioned a time that all the suits prophets rapidly, and
I'm not sure I want to drop that on these guys.
the trick that he has always maintained, with once his assumption, reason he on his on I don't know if that was ever made specific, but yes, he did mention a time. This sort of thing is somewhat prophesied. Something is coming, soothsayer. And they've been saying so since before Julio.
I mean, I don't want to, let Julio completely off the hook, but I was talking to Korvax Rivano like a little while ago, and he was talking about, like a prophecy about there being, like a time that could not be foreseen because the choice was not, within the scope of their future telling. And that was a thing before the older heart started, evolving. So
And
I think this was going to happen whether we wanted it to or not. It was just a matter of when and how.
I was in and out of consciousness at the time, but didn't that paladin who you said accompanied you, wasn't she going on about some kind of prophecy as well?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she was.
That's right. Obviously, she wasn't a big deal. She was just a little blip in your life. So
and she was on a selfie
she
with
was
us
mad at me.
so,
I don't really like prophecies, particularly when they involve me. Makes me feel like I'm not in control of my own life. But I think possibly we're part of something bigger than ourselves, and whatever choices we've made, they ultimately have only helped shape what is happening, not caused it or triggered it.
Gabby would pipe up, I think. You guys told me about we're talking about when I'm from anyway. But you guys told me about talking and them basically saying to you that you were gonna do, like, at this point, any choice they basically like kind of coup de grace, really, and you found a third way.
Yeah, because Kren's full of shit.
But my point, you already like disobeyed an Amaranthine and it was just fine. And like the trickery one as well, like the one that's good at that. I don't think Orgon can. If the older heart told Ereq that he could, and Josh is now struggling because he knows what older heart meant to imply to Ereq, but what What did Ereq
Look,
tell
Ereq
everybody?
was very specific in the words that he used.
Yeah.
So I think the NPCs and PCs need to be responding to that.
Yeah. I'm just trying to remember what Ereq said, relating to whether or
I
not
don't
the older
remember
heart,
either.
whether or not the older heart was said that he basically. I think you said that the older heart said, you're either with, and they, the older heart. You've already demonstrated that you are kind of a team. But there are levels of. It's, as you say, you reckon it's happen one way or the other. You don't need to instruct it. Just and if you wanted to stop it, I mean, looking at the poor people, I reckon probably all have to. Anyway, this is kind of it feels a little circular. This is all and that. Ereq, did
If I
the older
may.
heart give you any ideas how you would help it if you were going to?
No.
What was the truth like?
I felt like it started with me in my childhood bedroom, and I could see rooms are. I was at the older heart, but it was much larger. Uh, um, it can for aspects of all of the elements, except arguably fire. Um, although fire was involved as for elementals. I didn't hear the thing that you just said.
I didn't hear anything of what.
Oh, the internet.
The internet is being real. It might every now and again. Can you relate that again?
Yeah. I was in my childhood bedroom, could see the older heart from the distance, then suddenly was there. The older heart literally held nations in its roots and in its boughs. An aspect of every element was involved in the tree except for fire. But there were fire elementals present which were being swatted away, so maybe that counts. I would say that doesn't. But
Brendan,
who am I to say?
There was fire, and I don't know if you are misremembering.
Okay, because
there was fire. The fire was burning and then going out on its trunk. And it was causing growth. It was really hard to build in. It was really hard to build into the scene, so it wasn't as clearly, obviously there as all the other ones. Yeah. There was. It was there.
Okay, fire was involved. Never mind. I'm just an idiot. Fire was there too. So all of the elements, I guess, were in balance. But I really got the impression after thinking about it that it was less about, not to put myself out there, but I think that the older heart recognized me as potentially one of the biggest obstacles to its ascension. And it was less about what I could do to help it and more about what I could do to not get in the way.
Ooh.
It tried to show me a utopia. Whether that utopia is what will actually happen, I don't think even the older heart could say. I think that what the older heart showed me was what it hopes to bring.
And he describe it as got its roots in giant ocean. Like, it viewed the others, or is it feeding off?
That was hard to determine, and really, is there much difference in the end? But it
Well,
seemed
being
that
master of something is different than
symbiotic
using
in nature. That the elements benefited from the older heart's existence, and the older heart benefited from theirs. And most importantly, all of the beings living in and amongst the older heart were safe.
Well, so, do I say this? You know, I'm pretty.
Well, now you've got to.
I'm pretty good at the whole elemental thing. If it's all in balance, if it's a symbiotic relationship, because that's not what we've currently got at all. That's the problem. And if you're talking about a symbiotic relationship, you wouldn't need it. You just need the other six, and you can kind of make them. You'd need a bit of all of them. Like the life plane is kind of on board by the sound of it. I don't know about the others, but if you could get a shard, something that the older heart can link to. If you're talking about
Would
doing
it?
you need the acquiescence of other gods.
Or
Gods.
Or
the
deities.
planes.
Deities as well, amaranthines as well. Bear in mind that they are the masters of this plane right now.
That's the question. We know for a fact that some amaranthine are on the side of the altar heart. Would that help us? Yes, we know that at least a couple of amaranthine are in favor. We haven't gotten information on the others. But would that help us in strengthening that connection?
Yeah. You want everyone on side. The more you've got, the more support you've got, the better. And I mean deity level. If you
It
can,
occurs to me that a way of coercing support or forcing the hand of the planes would be to literally plant an aspect of the old heart in those planes. If we were to take some kind of sapling, then the planes, as long as they're allowed to grow, the planes are linked, whether they want it or not.
But the sapling being in the other plane, if they find it, they can quite easily get rid of it.
Gets
they would
protected.
have to agree with it.
Yeah.
have to paint it. But just not. It would be would be the end result. That would be the way to make the connection. I was thinking more of the planes feed the older heart first. You make it a god, and then you help it spread.
Like
it's feeding off the life plane.
They can.
Sorry.
Shotgun-sized shards.
How big? Talking. Any
this
piece?
Big?
Were they conscious?
I hope not.
Well, they were. They
I didn't think about that.
The bits of the elementals. It was the card. Cards were like the core of the elementals.
Wait,
geez.
I have a question. remember when we went to the life plane, and there was we took things from that plane to seed it here. So I'd say one connection is established.
Oh,
Right?
definitely. Life
Yes.
plane is up and running, and it's been feeding all the heart all this time. I reckon, life plane started this
Mm-hmm.
because it could have not, but the roots from all the heart go there. It could have not. It's why the avium died. They tried to
Wait, what?
transplant before. That's what happened. The avium is a sapling from the older heart. It's another tree, but it died. It didn't have the support. It grew huge, but eventually it died. The reason it's stone now is because the wizards living in it were like, well, we don't want to lose the tree, so they petrified it.
Huh. Well,
So,
anyway, after that little lore drop, yes, Kesh.
so we need to find a way to get bits of the other planes and then the older heart incorporate them, essentially.
Like what
Ah.
we did with the life plane.
Yeah. You
Would
stole.
we need some level of cooperation? Like, if we were to summon or go to a plane and bring back an elemental
By force.
of its own accord.
yeah.
Well, I don't think force is working, but if it sent a piece of itself here, it voluntarily sent it. What it happens to it when it gets here isn't under its. So, for example, Kesh, your bow. It's made out of fire.
Yes.
Only a little.
And
but
death plane stuff.
it would probably destroy the bow, but it's a thought. Like, I'm sure there are other bits of the fire plane lying around, but this is the thing. Nodes. If this is something, and I'm getting looks from the other members of the council that suggest I maybe shut up. But if this is something we are thinking about doing, then let's think about doing it and how. I'm sorry, you got me onto a technical. My brain started now, not the good. Yeah. Anyway, what else needed to be talked about?
Julio,
Mhm.
what is it that you want from
Oh, so
the
many
older
things.
heart?
Oh, you mean right now from the council? Well,
No, with what is your purpose with the older heart? Yes, you want to ascend it to godhood. To what end?
yes. To have a protector that is on the side of material plane, us. No tug of war between other planes trying to vie for supremacy and taking our people with them. You remember the cults? You remember the opera singer possessed by the airplane? If we have someone that protects us, they're not so susceptible. That's what I want. I want to believe that symbiotic relationship with the rest is possible, and I want to believe that we can resolve things amicably, but I wouldn't personally hold my breath. I think some planes have been making it very clear that they are against our efforts. They tried to kill us. They took your hope. This is if we can get past those grievances, that would be nice. But I think we need to be aware of the problem that some of them are currently opposing us very vehemently. Either we find a way to deal with that and truly find common ground, which is difficult because they've tricked us before, or, well, we know how to bring it down to 6 again. Well, you don't have to kill it, do you? You just told us you need anchors in other planes. I assume the
All the heart's
demiplane
going
of
to.
Void, for example, is one such thing. well, if we can sever one of the others, that is, against this situation, then that would be 6 again, wouldn't it? I don't like the idea, but I'm not optimistic enough to assume that we can bring every plane together so easily.
Yeah.
You see what I have to deal with?
Honey
I
chuckles
tried
again and says,
to talk him
Realistic.
down.
"No one ever claimed he did not dream big."
Adventures are hard.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Not
believe
so.
me,
Simply eat
I
a
want
plane.
to. I want to make sure that everyone says, "Yay, sure, go for it." But we've almost died on the death plane. They tricked me by grabbing Raleigh to get me there for an ambush.
I must say, I agree with Julio. I think that if we can make amicable connections, then great. I think that some planes will not stop fighting and kicking and screaming. I think that suggesting we eliminate or eat a plane is a little extreme, but if we can find a way of convincing an individual rogue element plane or bringing it here by force and routing it here, then the plane really has no way of like, well, I guess they do have a way of stopping it in that trying to invade and murder us all. But if we can make it take seed and flourish before that point, then the older heart would probably be more empowered to protect us. And it occurs to me that there are several planes who are already sending potential seeds right to our doorstep.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah, like if you're looking for bits of elementals, they tend to turn up.
They're
somewhere.
here.
They're here. So, like, subvert.
Attempts to prevent other. If
Yeah.
the heart can't.
And then
act.
if we. Yes. And if we're able to do this with some of the planes, then I think that if it comes down to, I can't believe I'm saying this about the dual planes, bargaining with them, then I think that we're in a stronger position by saying, what's happening to the fire plane? What's happening to the plane of death? What's happening to the airplane? The plane of air, let's phrase it that way. Oh, look, they sent invading forces, and now they are literally a part of our plane. Maybe you just want to send a friend along and do this
That's a
voluntarily.
good
Yeah.
warning.
This
the hard way.
is happening, so make your peace with it.
And
Well.
the more they try to send our way, the more chances we have, which,
Yeah.
you know.
This turned particularly productive. Good. This is
I like this.
Pavel. Actually, was like,
I mean, we are talking about planar colonization, so
Yeah.
there is that.
Yeah, I like this.
I would be surprised if the Older Heart's intention is actually that aggressive. Or hoping for Hector. Colonization on balance. I don't know. Bob, do you want to tell us about
it? We're workshopping the rearrangement of the cosmos.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
This is not what I anticipated.
We'll get it right on the night.
Morning. All right. Bob, can you tell us about you and Braun tell us about your plans for, and I can't believe I'm saying this, methadone for listen. Actually, there's a thought. How much listen is there? That stuff is imbued with air magic. And there's tons of it.
It's also kind of addictive.
Oh, I'm not proposing you listen to it, but maybe the tree.
might get the tree hooked on drugs. What could possibly go
There's
wrong?
another, yeah. There's also
it's a
another wind
god.
elemental, but it is a tornado.
Then now,
Yeah.
Coxbow.
Anyway, sorry. Yeah, Eric. Bob and Braun have made some progress. They pretty much have rolled it out. And I
great.
don't actually plan to roleplay this bit, but yeah, Bob and Braun and Gabby, who was also involved, sort of relay. Hey, we've done this. It's called Muffle. Working title, but yeah. The missus actually helped.
We get it, Bob. You're married.
You were the one who brought it up.
It's still warm.
Only because she burned to death, Eric.
Yes, and that seems kind of insensitive of you.
Oh, you've changed your tune. I thought you were cool with it.
I'm your boss.
Are you? I thought we were both on the council.
HR will call me in, and that's a whole.
Eric's gone off the
Anyway,
deep
yes,
end,
the
guys.
drug thing is doing.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
It's going
woke
great.
up from a puddle of goo 3 hours ago.
Look,
Same.
Julio woke up from
right,
a puddle
no, I
of
see.
goo.
Right.
I was going to say
What was
we
her
all
name?
have, but
How dare you assume that it's a she?
I really
gonna.
Everyone, thank you so much. I feel this has been a productive conversation. I really feel that
Do
things are
you?
going downhill from here. Let's table it for now. Making
If
a
I-
new god.
If we have any thoughts,
Changing the landscape of the cosmos. Yes. Gabby, you're a go-getter. I think they capture a live elemental and then reduce it to a seed that the older heart can subsume. I need to
sure,
go
I'll get
nap.
right on it.
I feel.
you're the ideas man,
Wow.
Eric. That's, yeah,
That's what they call me, Ideas Man Eric.
probably something. Shotgun. On. All right. Yeah. Go and we'll talk and think. And we'll have a short little break there, I think, everybody. After, so yeah, that wasn't what I planned to do
Nice.
the
Kesh
first
is
half
like,
of the fucking
I think
session.
that went well.
The Tenders are an interesting group.
What?
boring,
You mean
right?
the group of
Disagreement
people I just
between them.
fucking made up on the fly?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see why you have so many meetings, Eric. There is.
In fairness, you did throw a fairly heavy-duty existential crisis their way.
Yeah.
Hey, let's
Yeah.
literally question our
I
existence.
legitimately think that
That went
went
well.
far better than I had any right to.
Hey, Julio's not in jail. It's a win.
Somehow everyone agreed, and I don't know how.
I think Eric was
Well, to be
actually
fair, we haven't left the office yet.
Eric
Yeah,
was Eric was the reason that because Eric made the good point of it's not so much a how as a when. And they're like, yeah, no, we can see all the God bits. We just hadn't really put the word God attached. Now that we're obviously freaking out. But like they are Team Alderheart. If anybody is these. Anyway, well, let's go and have a short little breaklet. Josh can recalibrate his fucking brain. And do the story that Josh originally wrote.
What's that, Iari? You want
yeah,
us
we'll
to deal with
talk
some
about that.
tiny bullshit? Fuck
Yeah,
you.
time to kill
making
that
gods.
grandma. Let's fucking go.
Just trust that
You
the
get a
DM is
gun.
planning to
You get a
feed you
gun.
the right
You
thing.
get
Yeah?
Good
All right.
luck with that, DM. Good luck.
Alrighty, we'll be back 5 to 10. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
fast ahoy. Hey, mateys, we be back. Just a quick little breaklet. And it's off to see Ereq. Hopefully, maybe, probably, presumably, while you hand the Tender Council and Gabby particularly an existential crisis and just a little bit of a technical problem to solve. And then go, bye then, bye. Thanks for your help with the drugs, Bob. Bye. And hope the marital bed's still warm. And then we go and talk to the president. So I presume. And does Ereq go with?
To be fair, the president is my grandma.
Yeah, so you would probably go with, is my question.
Yes.
Like, you're
Cool.
all with me. You might as well come along.
Cool. So you go and talk to the president. You are shown in to her office. It was Peter's office before, and it's quite a nice one. It's yeah, quite luxurious in the
How
upper
oval
levels.
is it?
It's not.
Okay.
No, it's banana shaped. No. No,
It
it's
can't be in an oval. It's in a tree.
Yeah, it's actually it's like an L shape actually, so it isn't. It's not far off banana shaped actually. The edges are quite a bit rounded, so yeah, it's mostly. But yeah,
it
like
could be on the edge of a branch, which could literally have a banana on it. This
Good.
could literally be a banana.
it's not.
It's
It could
not.
be.
That'd be silly, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I was just making a Monty Python quote, but
Silly
yes, no,
us?
never. It has actually been a battle.
Anyway,
map
let's
before,
make
so
a god.
We do have a picture somewhere. But yeah, it's a roughly L-shaped room with a large fireplace and several large comfy chairs and a desk at the far end. And Ereq gets up and says, "Kesh, thank you so much for coming." And quite rapidly as well. Ereq! And
He lives!
he does indeed. Good to see
Her
you, dear.
grandmother.
Oh, always. And yeah, I think she.
I was wondering.
Oh.
Heyo.
Anyway, go get us some tea or something. I don't know, biscuits, cake. Go. To the guard, who sort of bows nonplussed, like sort of a, and closes the door. She's a little Edna mode today. And she says, "So, I've had your report, Colonel, about stuff, or the recent events, but
Kesh has a moment of just, her carefully crafted and written report being distilled down to bits and stuff.
She said,
Things and stuff.
and it was it was interesting reading. I do have some questions. I also have some context to provide you, and maybe circulated. Wanted you. Some of the certain person of it. But before all of that, perhaps, Mr. Switchgear, actually, you could brief me on the dragon.
Okay. Okay. Which one?
Oh, I see. The one that's awake and flying around.
The one I killed or the one I befriended?
Yeah, I hope.
Okay,
So,
okay. Yes.
actually, no. Hang on, wait back. You killed it, but as I have an understanding, it is still
damn it!
alive. And we're being raided. Roll D dice.
So here's the thing.
Welcome
Hang on
to
a
the
second.
chaos.
I'm just gonna greet our raiders before Julio tries to walk this shit back. Let's have our new raider mode. The tirade. Guys, thank you very much for joining us, you bloody champions. Lovely to see you. Thank you very much. I actually don't know roll the dice. guys, thank you so much for joining us. Let's have a shout out for the lovely folks.
I assume they have also been playing some TTRPG.
One assumes
That would be my
that would be my guess
my
too.
understanding.
Guys, what have you been doing? Tell us about it. Thank you very much for bringing your lovely folks here. We are Corsairs Cove. We play D. We do other TTRPG nonsense as well. Karen and I do muck around other TTRPG systems. But tonight we are playing our long-running Humblewood campaign. Welcome, welcome. This is a relatively high-level game at this point. This party is level 12. There is a second party in an off that is having interestingly similar issues, weirdly, but they don't yet. Well, they had a god that they really wanted to stop becoming a god, and that's the problem. These guys have got the opposite issue. And the other team doesn't know that yet. So, yes, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Guys, my lovely folks, slap a follow over at Roll the Dice as well. Let them know who you are, and thank you very much. Tell us all about your stuff, and we will keep going. So, yes, Mr. Switchgear, tell me about the dragon that you killed and then brought back to life.
Yeah, so you know about our trip to the Death Plane, I assume.
The Colonel's reports have been very thorough. I'm still a little confused. Why? But yes.
Well, seems like the Colonel didn't mention my powerful and heroic deed, which was single-handedly besting a dragon in combat.
Well, the Colonel wasn't there for that, as I understand it.
Yes, but I talked about it in
Hold on,
detail
what?
for like a week.
You what?
Oh yeah.
Oh my.
Single what?
Yes, don't be so surprised. I'm actually an accomplished warrior. So yeah, those two dragons, one of them was a little bit, you know.
What the fuck is a dragon?
Giant lizard with wings.
That's another kind of worms. It's a big, powerful creature that can fly. It looks like a big lizard with wings. But those one
Lizards
dragon that
with
I killed.
wings are unnatural.
You would know what a dragon is, but it's a creature of myth. Yeah.
Yeah. So long story short, President, before they interrupt us again so rudely,
Speaker, yes.
yes, Speaker, sorry.
I don't want to get ideas above my station.
But yes, there was two dragons. One was unfortunately corrupted by negative magics. I dealt with that, and then we figured out that it's actually like a nephew of the dragon we befriended. So we did that, and we're all friends, and it's great.
Safe.
Yes, it's safe.
Currently sleeping under Tallowdown.
It's
You know the
resting.
name of the
Yes.
village.
Yes. And the older dragon became a very good friend. We are interested in pursuing a discussion. Yes, and yes, both dragons are accounted for.
Good. And Team Humble Bird Folk.
Timas.
Good. Okay.
We do not
They
believe them
have,
to harbor malicious intent.
Yes, and they actually like personal friends with Hath, which is good for us. We like Hath. Kesh personally knows Hath.
I don't. I think I was aware of this. I'm not actually sure she was. Kath, sorry, that's right. And she knows. They know Hath, the god, the deity, the Amaranthine. They know.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
How? They just got here.
That's such a different story. Friends from college.
Right. Bloody Betty, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion of Aston Ahoy to ye matey. Carry on. Right, thank you, Mr. Switchgear, I think. Kesh.
Of course. Nailed it.
Yeah.
No worries. Knock that one out of the fucking park. Kesh. You've received word, I believe, it was your report from your friend, the captain.
Yes. Yes.
Who?
So. Oh, old friend of mine from that village I'm from that I forget the name of.
We're so prepared, gang. We're so prepared.
We never
I do
established, I
keep
don't
notes,
think.
I swear.
Are you from Ashbarrow?
Too small to have a name, very unimportant.
Yeah.
Anyway, knew Ned when I was growing up. He's the captain of.
Did we go to that village where Kesh was a thief?
Ashbarrow, I think, might be where she's from. I don't remember if we have ever established.
I definitely did some stealing in Ashbarrow. Can't remember if that's
did.
where I'm
It's
from.
where we met. Kesh was stealing in Winnowing Reach, but that was a whole other thing. Yeah.
She's committing crimes in multiple times and places. Oh shit. Anyway, old childhood friend, captain of a Hiscalia now, and while they were flying into the Old Heart, they witnessed a magical tornado, a wind elemental, we assume, destroying a village out there. And he, being in possession of the knowledge that that's kind of my area, he came and told me about it. But there's also been like wake worms out near Saltat's Point. There's been like a mudslide. Weird stuff is happening. Elemental upheaval,
Yeah.
one could say.
Yes.
Less
well,
jovially than I just did, probably.
but there's also, of course, you're aware of the mock fields,
Yes.
and I have it on good authority that the business with the wake worms has started, but plural now. And here's the rub. Our protagonist, Noble.
Ah.
Yeah. Yep. Because he fled. He fled across country's lines.
Well, we've found him. At least I think.
Hole?
Best as we can tell.
Okay.
And at that point, the guard comes back in with a tray of like victual, and sort of balancing the tray, struggling to hold the tray whilst a second one holds the door open.
Victuals?
It's a food victual. It's a
Victuals.
it's a burly strig in the
I
armor of a
wouldn't
perch
stress. Native English speakers mostly don't.
Don't know that one.
That word either. So
It's a
Victualling
fairly
is
obscure
an
word,
older. It's an
victuals.
old English word. Victualling is where
I
you
like it.
replenish the food on ships and things.
No, I like it. I like new words.
You're welcome. As a student of language, I would have thought. In the armor of a perch guard comes in carrying a tray laden with tea and cakes, while a second raptor holds the door open. Can you all please make me perception checks as they sort of shuffle it?
Oh,
It's all
shit.
older word, sir, but it checks out.
oh shit! I get to interact with my character sheet.
What perception you say?
Yeah.
Perception you say?
I desperately want it's an older word, sir, but it checks out on a t-shirt.
22 from
18.
Ereq,
Ooh.
an 18 from Braun, an 18 from Julio.
Nice.
And my character sheet is frozen, so we'll give that a hot minute.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's why I
there
have
it goes.
dice ready on my table just in case he's...
A 15 from Kesh. Alrighty, the DC was 22.
Jesus.
Fuck!
Ereq. Trig has a knife drawn and held on the table, which she's holding quite low. And it just happens to be that you are at the right angle. You may take one action. You have
So can
time.
you just give me some more context for who this person is?
So, they are a perch guard. They look like a perch guard.
Yeah.
Iari seems to know them.
Yeah.
Be familiar with them. You've probably seen them here before as well. They are one of the regular guards here. However, this one, and was told it is the Strig woman that was told to go and get cakes and stuff. Told to go
Okay.
refresh. They have come back armed with a secreted knife below the under the tray.
Do I get an impression of if they're trying to? Is this
Why-
an assassination attempt on
Why would
Iari?
anybody do that? In terms of who it is aimed at,
Like who their target? Yeah.
who it's aimed at, it would be almost impossible to know, except that this person has regular access to Iari.
Cool. So it would kind of seem strange if they would choose this time with
This exact
4
moment.
well-known
Yeah.
adventurers to attempt. Yeah. Okay. I am going to cast Thorn Whip
Cool.
at this person.
Love it.
To bring her
Away from
closer
Penny.
to me and away from the area.
Yeah.
Oh no, not the victuals.
The tray goes everywhere immediately. Yeah.
I grab it with my mouth. Nom, nom. Is it finger food?
it is crustless cucumber sandwiches and
Nice.
tea
Respectfully,
cakes.
I feel we're getting away from the point, which is theirs.
How dare
Sorry,
you?
I had.
Oh, get
dare you.
away from the point.
We've
as-
spent so much
as
time
this-
on the point. We need a change.
Yeah. As this thorn whip comes out, it is like a old, half rotting, decaying vine rather than the normal kind of green new one.
Yeah,
I think this is an attack roll.
it is very much.
Advantage?
No. If anything, disadvantage.
No.
It's a ranged attack.
Yeah, I'm not. Am I close to her?
You're quite close. Everybody's quite close together. I would say you're not 5 feet, but you're no more than 15 feet.
Yeah.
Probably 10 foot away. You spot it as they go past. They are holding the tray quite low to try and hide the knife. They are heading for Iari. Like they're bringing her the tray, and she is, let us say, I will paint you the picture. You are sitting around a low table on couches. She is sitting at the couch at the head of the table, as it. So she is furthest from the door. And this Strig is walking to the head of the table to put Prey down, and Ereq is sitting in one of the couches that is just happens to be at the right angle to catch a glimpse. So
Yeah,
this is-
it's up to you. You have a better idea of.
it's
the
not advantage, but
layout
it's not
than I
disadvantage.
do. But so if she is walking past me and I spot it, then I would do a different attack.
All right, yeah, she would be
my
right
assumption.
next to you.
Yeah. I will see it then, and I will lash out with an acidic talon and cast primal savagery.
Very well, you do that.
Hell yeah.
And so
Big lols if she just
it's,
brought
it's
the
not
cupcake.
surprise. Yeah, it's not surprise. She's not
She
surprised.
is
so it's
ready
just a
for
regular- okay.
violence. She's anticipating violence. Does what she.
Okay.
25 is a
Okay.
hit though.
25 to hit.
Yep. You'd hope.
Mhm.
What is she?
Ooh.
13 acid damage.
13 acid. The Strig.
And in fact, it's not acid, it's tar.
it
I
is.
clort her, and these streaks of tar
Yeah.
Nice.
are falling down her.
So the Strig takes points of acid damage, and she rounds on you, traitorous filth. And she is going to.
Gentlemen.
Sorry.
I just yelled she's got a weapon
Yeah.
to justify my randomly attacking.
Yeah. The tray goes everywhere. Narrowly misses Iari. The teapot narrowly misses Iari with a spray of boiling tea. But it's not thrown at so much as the blade comes out, and it is a long, wicked-looking, black-bladed dagger. The blade looks like it's made of glass, but like black glass. as she slashes it down.
Black glass that we have seen before.
Not exactly like the ones you've seen before, but not unlike it. Can you all please make me initiative rolls?
Oh shit.
I love fighting in confined areas.
At least
Yeah,
you
me
would have
too.
brought your bow.
I actually do, yeah. You have a sword, don't you?
Oh yeah, I'm just shit with it.
Well, just less good with it. You're like a pretty high, like a plus
Look,
8 or 9 weapon. It's not
Compared
bad.
to the
at it.
bow, I'm shit with it. Also, I tend to roll really badly whenever I whip them out, so I'm
You
a
roll
little,
badly for attack rolls anyway. It's nothing to do with just your gladius. You mess with your plus 11 bow semi-regularly. How have we gotten? Kesh has got a 23.
Man, if I lightning arrow her in here, we're all getting barbecued.
Julio gets 26. Ereq got a 14. Ron, how did you do? 9.
9.
And Ereq got a 4. The raptor by the door, who has just witnessed somebody try to assassinate place with guarding, and will be reacting. So whether or not in support of you or the assassin, you don't know yet. Got a 14 on the dice. They have a +2, so they got a 6.
I'm unbothered either way.
And the assassin has a +3, and rolled a 6. So Julio, you are going first. Ereq has just attacked a random perch guard, and they have drawn a blade, and they are rounding on Ereq. But they do not get a turn yet because Ereq did spot the.
Okay, so how big is the room? Can you repeat that for me?
The room is 30 feet wide, 60.
Okay. Am I
far.
close enough to attack the assassin?
You can become close enough to attack the assassin reasonably. He's 10 feet away from you. You have to leap over the coffee table. But yes.
Yes. Definitely will. And I'm getting my Slod Slayer out.
Yep.
And I'm attacking the assassin. 23.
Yeah. The 23 hits.
Beautiful.
Yep.
So I'm doing my sneakiness. I'm doing sneak. That's what I want to do.
Can I check? It's not attack rolls. It's when you're at one level of it.
No, it's ability
Just
checks.
ability check.
Which I think means my initiative would have been a different place then.
Maybe try it again, but you have very high initiative. But yes.
Okay, I'll do it again, and
5
then
to
I
hit.
can return to my thing later. Oh, 11.
All right. Julio goes second to
What do you
last.
want to do?
I'm going to put you in second last. We'll keep the hit though, if you like. Keep the attack roll.
Okay.
Yep. Just remember that you did that later.
Yes. That means like next time I just do things later, which is fine.
Yeah.
So 5 plus 12.
Yeah. 17
Am I
damage
allowed
on
to
the
move?
dude. No. Like just we'll. You haven't done anything yet. This is what you're planning to do.
Okay.
All right.
Gotcha. Okay. No problem.
Kesh, you're first.
Yay! Cool. I will draw one of my short swords, and I'm attempting to do non-lethal damage to basically, I want to try and knock her out so we can ask her some questions. I feel like killing her is going to leave a lot of question marks over this incident. So I'm trying to bring her down, but without killing her.
Love it. So non-lethal damage with your short sword. Go for it.
19.
19 is a hit.
Yay! And that is 10 points of damage.
You don't hunter's mark or anything like that, so that even if they get away, that you can track them or anything.
I'll cast Hunter's Mark now.
Okay. Not a bad idea. You do have an
My
extra attack,
automatic
so-
reaction was to draw a weapon, and then I'm like, boom, tracking mark, and then I'm gonna have another swing at her because I'm allowed
well.
to.
Yeah. 17 is
17?
not a hit.
What a shame.
D4.
Oh yeah, I do have a D4. Yes, I will.
You know a 19 is a hit.
And that's a 3, so it's
A
now a
filthy 20.
dirty
There you
20.
Nice.
Ba-da-ba-da.
Hits.
Do some more damage. Ooh, 6. That's 11 points of damage. Plus my Hunter's Mark. Plus another 4, so 15 points of damage.
There you go. Very nice. Yeah, these are, if you're doing non-lethal, you're smacking her around the helmet with the butt of your sword. It's just, stop it! Get away!
It's that reel where they have the frying pan and they're hitting the guy in the armor with it.
Or you haven't drawn the blade. Scabbard is on, and you're just hitting them with it.
Yeah. It's like, go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. Yep, absolutely. It is now the Strig's turn. And the Strig bellows a filthy traitor! And seeing as Ereq attacked it, it's going to do, it does make 2 attacks, so it's going to do 1 on Ereq and 1 on Kesh. Yeah. So it's going to do, the very first one it's probably going to do on Ereq, though, because Ereq started all of this. So let's see. That is a 19 on
Guess
the dice.
what I'm going to cast?
Is it
Biney's Shield,
Biney
baby.
Shield? Very well. So yeah, it does.
At
It's
third level.
Ow. 26 to hit.
That hits.
Yep. And it's gonna do. And. Yeah. Cool. 19. 15. Ereq takes 4 points of damage. And returns 15 of it.
Nice.
Was that all slashing damage?
It is, yes.
Okay.
Please make me a con save.
Why do I feel like we're about to get one of those elemental items we need?
Ooh,
14.
interesting.
Do I
Ereq-
have a D4?
Do not have a D4.
No. Okay. Then I will leave it.
Okay. Very interesting. Ereq, there is a ringing in your ears as she slashes across your chest. The shield comes up and she sort of squeals in pain as she is, I think it's similar to putting your hand through something that's unexpectedly spiky, like reach to get a lemon from a lemon tree and discover that there's a fuck ton of thorns in the lemon tree. Sort of like, but doesn't drop the weapon, but does turn to a strike at Kesh with her second attack. Kesh does an 18.
It does.
Alrighty. This one is 7 points of piercing damage.
Ow!
But could you please make me a con save? In fact, make me 2 because you've taken damage and you're concentrating on us.
Oh shit.
Which one would you like first?
Tell me which one you're doing first. Doesn't matter which. Let's say the Hunter's Mark one.
Hunter's Mark 1. 16?
Absolutely nails it. Second one.
5.
Inspiration? Do you have inspiration?
You do have an
I
inspiration.
do have inspiration.
But Ereq didn't save it, and
And I kind of want to see what's gonna happen. I'm unlikely to die, right?
We have.
Now, right?
Don't say that out loud.
You know what's funny is that at least from my end, you froze just as you said, "I'm not likely to die."
Yep, me too.
Cool. Alrighty. Very interesting, Kesh. Also, your ears start ringing.
DM, something I'd like to clarify. You mentioned that this assassin has been yelling about traitor.
Yep.
Has she been directing that at anyone in particular?
You and Kesh, so
Okay.
Cool. It's like, betrayed what? There's been a lot. Gonna
That's
be more
fine.
specific.
I betrayed so many people.
that is her turn. She is very much engaged with you guys. Yeah. Then the raptor by the door dashes in as well. And possibly for a very brief moment, you're all like, please be helping us. And they do appear to be going straight for Iari. However, they do not have enough movement to get to Iari and then attack, so they are going to do a drive-by on Bron. And...
That's brave.
The Tyrant So that is. So okay. Yeah, they run in. They have a halberd, and they are going to make. They get 3. So they're going to sort of lay in on Bron. It's not bad. 7 to hit. So a 19, a
Misses.
23,
God, that hits.
and a 26. To 25.
Yeah, that hits. Yeah.
Very well.
I have an interesting thing.
Yeah.
I have a reaction.
I'll keep it in your trousers.
Once I am once I am hit by a melee attack, and I can use it to push the attacker up to 15 feet away. Can I use that between attacks, or do I have to take both the attacks?
Oh, I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't have rolled all. I would have said yes, but I probably shouldn't have rolled all of them.
That's okay.
Yeah. Would you mind doing it after both attacks hit? Is that all right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, cool. You do that, but you do have to tank a pair of hits. It is D10. Pair of 6s. Plus 4 each time, so 20. Piercing damage. Yeah. There you go.
Right. So, yes. I have swapped out some of the artificer things.
Oh, cool.
I've swapped out some of my artificer things. So one of them is now my shield. I can. It's got 4 charges. I can expend one to push an attacker up to 15 feet away. So fuck off.
Yeah, they blast backwards away from you. Force movement, so they don't get opportunity attack, and they're just. It's a little bit like anime where they just sort of slide along the floor, and then bring their halberd down. They've got their shield mounted on their forearm, so they are shielded with a double-handed. It's a particular fighting style that they appear to be quite good at. Yeah, that's their turn. Then it's Ereq's turn.
Just as a side note, Bron has some professional curiosity and admiration for this shield halberd combo.
It's mounted on the forearm, so it's not really. They don't need a hand for it. It limits their range of motion with the halberd a little bit, but not to the point where it's actually it's part of their fighting style.
That's cool.
Okay, where is Hey, is that the thing I wanted? Yeah, no, it's not. It is, but it sucks. How are they both looking?
The gladiator is the raptor is the assassin is looking pretty ropey, looking a little punch drunk, but there is a maniacal gleam in it.
Okay. I don't like that gleam. I really want to use contagion, but it sucks, so I'm not going to. They have to make 3. They have to fail 3 saves before it takes effect.
Really?
Yeah. The thing is, like, most of my things are like big explosions and fire, which I don't really want to
All-enclosed
do.
room with Granny in it.
Yeah.
Or do you?
Well,
Be a really great way to
Traitor!
assassinate your granny.
Yeah.
You got me. You're right. I am a traitor.
Mm.
No, wait. Oh, no. That's fine. Oh, okay. Hey, yo. Team Sobel. I didn't realize.
Yeah. I am going to cast Sunbeam.
Holy
It
shit.
is a 6th level spell.
Jesus.
It is a 5-foot wide, 60-foot long line, but I don't have to worry about anything outside of the room, right?
Yeah, all right, sure. Would
No,
this
like,
you cut to an
decide-
extra wide shot of the tree, and the sunbeam
the
just
light? There's a pillar of light comes out the wall, and I really mean the wall.
Yeah. The tree's probably into it. No, if I would have some concern about collateral damage, so if this actually would be of a concern and wouldn't just like stop at a wall, then
I've said
I will do
canonically
something else.
that Moonbeam ruins.
But Sunbeam comes from me.
So
it's
it would
a
destroy
horizontal
walls.
rather than a.
That's my point.
Yeah. But if it's made of sun and the walls are made of a tree, anyway, I'll do something else.
Solar
I
radiation.
like how you gave up on that logic halfway
Even
through.
as I'm hearing it, and it is stupid. Yes, carry on. All right.
I don't think it's stupid. I just don't think that you're stupid enough to fall for what I'm trying to pull.
Don't you want to blow a hole in the roof there, in the wall of your granny's office?
Just let it be said, DM doesn't want me doing cool things.
I didn't say
Yeah,
that. I want you to blow a hole in the wall of Iari's study. I want that. I'm all over this. I'm exceptionally happy for you to burn a 6th level spell slot. Do that.
I'm going to cast Aura of Life.
Went in a different way.
Because I care more about keeping my grandmother alive.
Fair enough.
That's very fair.
This is the thing where
Freaking do it!
When Julio specifically starts his turn on 0 hit points, he gets back up. So
Never happened.
Never.
Yeah.
He's never grateful. Yep.
So like this like radius of grass erupts from me in like a wave. It comes out as grass, and then as like another wave, it all kind of slowly dies and like bubbles slightly.
Ereq, that's my good rug.
I'm trying to keep you alive. Sorry.
Try and keep one alive as well. Try and keep one of them alive. We need to ask them.
That's what this is for.
Thank you.
As well. You're welcome, grandmother. How are you? That's my turn.
Concerned, darling. It's Julio.
Yeah, sorry, it's a 30-foot radius. Each non-hostile creature in the aura has resistance to necrotic damage. Hit point max can't be reduced. And when you are on 0 at the start of your turn, you go up to 1.
Tank Hunter, could you roll me 4 inch? Because Iari actually cut word on.
Oh, nice.
Can
And Kesh did say ouch very loud.
No D.
No D.
Julio, you
No, D's nuts.
you went and attacked a guy. Do you want to go and attack that guy?
Yes, sir.
You jump
Yes, sir.
over and attack that guy.
Yeah, 17. 17 damage.
17
That's
damage does not kill it.
That's fine, because I have my bonus action, which is Susan's variable dagger attack on the same biatch.
Now, to be very, very clear, are you lethal, non-lethal?
Non-lethaling. I already have a fucking clue what this is about, but we can ask it about some shit. Whatever.
Sure.
Whatever. I don't remember. Did we establish what hits and what doesn't with this bitch?
19 hits.
Not, yeah, but 11 doesn't.
11. I do have
I think
advantage,
it's
and I
18.
haven't used it in a while. I'm gonna use it. Fuck it.
Yeah, do that.
Fuck it. What am I hoarding it for?
I don't know. 18
okay.
is the number you needed.
Sweet. So I'm gonna use my Susan's variable dagger, which is set to radiant, non-lethal if it's possible, 5 damage.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's bludgeoning if you're non-lethaling, so it's 5.
Yeah, that's true.
But
That's true.
yeah,
That's true.
and you that 73 hit points needed, and you've done 70.
Awesome.
So yeah, you knock them down at least. Yeah.
Awesome. If I have my movement, I will position myself between Iari and the room at large, just to make sure that no other assassins get in.
Actually, I'm really sorry. No, it's got 78. So you're 3 short.
Okay, well then, fuck me. Well, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna position myself in a way that obstructs their view and attacking of Iari.
You're going basically human shield on Iari. I love it.
Yes, I'm going
you are almost her
Whitney
height
Houston's
as well.
bodyguard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look out, Mrs. President. Yeah, Tank Hunter, can we have another roll, exclamation mark, roll the space, just 4, not, so you know how much Kesh heals. 1 plus whatever. She's not a particularly gifted spell. And it's Bronstone. Thank you, a 3, so 4 points for Kesh.
Yay.
Cool. So I assume I am in between the raptor and the rest of the room?
Yep.
If I
So
knocked
the
him
raptor
backwards?
has been knocked back towards the door. You are on the far side of the couches. You and Julio were sitting on one side, and Kesh and Ereq were sitting on the other. And you were on the window side. Kesh and Ereq were on the corridor on the far side of the door, side of the room. The Kesh and Ereq were the ones near the assassin. The raptor tried to come around the other side, and you interposed. Yeah, Julio is no longer next to you. He's standing in front of Iari at the head of the table. So you are the one who is in between the raptor and his target.
Perfect. Great. I am going to use my bark blade because there's a range of 15 feet as a whip blade. So let us roll for that. Nope, that's a 13 to hit. That doesn't hit. But I do get to attack twice. So let's try the other one. Oh, that's a nat 1.
Oof.
I just crack it near its head. I'm like, ha ha!
Stay away! Stay
back! And then I put my shield up and do the Matrix, like, come get me.
Guys, like, not overly intimidated, but it is very cool. Yeah, the sword
It's
comes out.
Psychic damage. I wish I was that cool.
It's like, my reach is longer than yours. I've got a halberd. Oh no, wait, your sword extends. It's basically a 15-foot long Arumi. Very scary. Okay, back to the top of the order. Kesh.
Okay. I think I'll hit this lady with my sword again.
Not a bad idea.
It seems to be doing all right so far.
Will you?
I think I do.
Yeah, you do.
That is 10
there it is.
plus my hunter's mark.
So you kill her or not kill her?
13.
Enough. You're not murdering?
No, I basically I bonk her on the head.
You do, and as you do, there is a sort of a musical thunk, and you hear, you and Ereq both hear a. It's not a thunk for you; it's a wind chime.
Ooh.
As you do that, and she and everything she is holding, clatter to the ground, unconscious. Her eyes sort of glaze over. It's almost comical. She's sort of and yeah, you are left with only one opponent in the room, and he definitely took a pipe or two on, so definitely hostile. And about 15 feet away from you.
Cool. I will rush towards him and hit him with my sword.
Well, you do that. Do you, I ask, because I'm very nice, do anything else?
Move Hunter's Mark
Okay,
to the new guy?
that then.
Yeah. I rolled a 26 to hit him.
Oh,
Wow.
yep, that hits.
Thank you. That's 9.
We're a little out of practice. This is our first combat.
No, I know.
14.
I'm being very nice.
No,
14.
me forgetting Hunter's Mark is
And-
entirely
That's not, yeah.
on brand.
Karen is completely in practice and doing that. 14 points on the round. Really like this. Very 14 points on the raptor. Very good. Kesh, that's your turn. It's actually the raptor's turn now, and you're right up, and it's George Foreman. So, he is going to make 3 melee attacks against you, apparently. But he can't roll for shit. He hits once. With a 4 and a 1 on the dice, and then a 17, so 24. Dealing 10 more damage.
That was to me.
Yes.
You're right. I didn't. Yeah, okay. I had a moment there where I was like, wait, is he attacking me?
Yeah, you just attacked
Yes,
him. You're
yes,
up in
he
his
is, Karen.
grill.
Yeah. No, just for some crazy moment, I was like, he's not attacking me, right? I only
what did
like
I ever do
stabbed
to
him
him?
a tiny bit, other than stab him.
Yeah.
And be a traitor. Cool. Ow! Stop fighting back.
Kesh, can you please make
Stop
me a
resisting arrest.
Can you please make me a strength saving throw?
Oh dear.
This one isn't as bad.
uh
3.
That's a 3
Hey,
on
Kesh,
a
you
crit
go
fail.
flying backwards. You are knocked prone. He just his third attack, after he sort of stabs at you a couple of times with his halberd, you've gotten inside of his guard, and then he just backhands you with his shield, and it just knocks you to the ground.
Oh shit.
Cool. Through some miracle, I rolled a 20 to keep concentrating on Hunter's Mark.
Nice.
So
Yeah. Not getting away, but he's now standing over you with a halberd. And it's that's the end of his turn. Ereq.
I
Shame,
would
should have done that
really suggest that you surrender. We have one prisoner. We don't need 2.
As boss.
I'm gonna walk over and cast my melee cantrip. The Primal Savagery.
Yep.
Yes.
Nice.
Despite what I said, I am intending for this to be non-lethal.
Right.
18 to hit.
That does not hit.
Yeah, cool. Never mind, I retract my statement. No. I shield up.
Yep.
And that's my turn.
Very well. The shield that floats around you, that shield?
Yep.
Cool.
I do this, and my shield continues to ignore what I'm doing. And
off. Yeah, it jumps off your wrist immediately and begins to orbit you.
Uh-huh.
Julio, it's your turn.
Aha. Okay. So what's the current position of peeps? Because if you look down the map, what's the
Ereq and
layout?
Kesh are by the door, basically, sort of pinning this new opponent wall pretty much between the two of them. He can't go backwards any further. Kesh has been knocked to the ground and in front of him, and then Ereq is kind of standing not over her, but like next to her. Bron is by the couch that you guys were sitting in just before, with his blade drawn
between this assailant and the door.
Right. Okay.
So he's between us.
Yeah.
And behind Granny, is there like a window or anything? Because I'm worried about leaving her side.
No. She's
Nope.
she's
All
sitting
clear?
in front of her desk.
Yeet her out the window.
Yeah,
No, the windows are along the wall.
Time for revolution.
The windows are along the wall.
In that case, I'm gonna attack the creature between me and Ereq.
Yep.
That motherfucker.
The last one. Yeah.
So I'm gonna. Yes, sir. Oof, my rolls. Holy
Not so
Jesus.
much.
I don't think that's gonna hit anybody, but a dagger might. There we go.
26.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's Susan's variable dagger set to radiant and stealth sneak.
Yep.
Where the fuck is it? Sneak. Yeah, there it is.
Oh.
Ooh,
Okay,
15.
so it's 22 points of damage.
And Julio, as your radiant blade stabs into this side, I reckon this is sort of a kidneys jab, and he yelps.
Mm-hmm.
And as he does, Kesh and Ereq both hear a discordant clattering of like just someone has rattled the wind chimes really badly.
Oh shit. Well, as I attack, I kind of get up on my tail and push back from his chest towards Granny, and I get back to protecting her.
Yeah. Very well. Then it is Bron's turn.
I just remembered. So he's got his halberd and shield. Is he wearing armor?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Is it metal by any chance?
Oh, it is very much so. It's a metal breastplate.
Oh, well then, I cast heat metal at a 3rd level.
Hell yeah.
On the breastplate?
Yep. So it glows red hot. Any creature in physical contact takes 3d8 fire damage when I cast the spell, and until the spell ends, I can use a bonus action on each of my subsequent turns to cause this damage again.
Love it.
Nice.
You do that. Roll me the
So,
damage. He can't avoid it, can he?
Ooh. Nope. That is 17 points of damage.
15 fire damage.
And I say to people, especially like Kesh, like, stand behind me. And Kesh is not here, so.
Yeah.
Kesh is at his feet and would have to disengage.
Yeah, but I mean, like, use your bow, get back. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, it is Kesh's turn, and are you turning it back on, my love? Oh, how helpful.
How does Granny look as this is all going on?
Granny seems pretty stoic, actually. She seems reasonably.
She's not surprised.
She's surprised, but has dealt with it manfully. Yeah.
So we're allies. We say woman flee here.
That's true. Yeah. No. As soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, "That's." Yeah.
I actually haven't heard of that word before.
Really?
Manfully.
Yeah.
Does it mean like strongly? Because that is like a misogynistic word.
Oh, it is. It is.
Stoically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tough. Yeah.
Well, we have manly, so.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It's a. I have the impression.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, she deals with the very like yeah. Another bloody assassin. Attempt third this week, honestly. Like it's not a drag. It's still exciting, but not in a good way.
In a manful way, bravely. Example
It's
being,
bravely.
his
Yeah.
boys strove manfully to accomplish the task. So it also implies a lack of understanding of what's the word when there's a plurals.
Yeah. So Karen just rolled in chat, presumably to attack, and got a 19, as in 10 on the dice plus 9. Plus 9 makes it 19, which is actually the number she needs to hit.
Is she
nice?
prone?
She is prone, but presumably
Well,
got
she'd probably
stood
get
back
up.
up.
Yeah.
Are you gonna play like this? Because
We're almost done, right?
yeah. Roll the 4. Roll the d6. Got a 4 on the dice. You need 2 more d4s.
This isn't going to take a while at all.
Oh, sorry, just 1 more d6. Yeah, for the plus 5. Yeah. Okay, so 9 damage plus your hunter's mark, which you're still focusing on. So another 3, 12, 62. No, 72. No, 70 is 65. That's. Do you attack again, Kesh? He says yes.
This is
It's
wild.
a 6 on the dice. Not so
Nice.
much. Misses the second time. Thank God. All right, moving on. I look very, yeah, she looks very different without her makeup. It's the beard mainly. Not bad, just different. All right, I guess we're doing the rest of this with me leaning over. Daria, if you could sit up and to the right a little bit.
Like this?
There you go. That's right. There you are. Now you're, and Brendan's in me. There you go. There you are. We can see all of our lovely. Oh, Brendan's like swapping. All right. Next, it's the Raptor's turn. He's got a Kesh who was on the ground. He's got an Ereq up in his face. The shield's up. Bron, you didn't close, did you? You stayed where you were for the for heat metal.
Nope.
He's like he's tries to wrench his breastplate off, gets his fingers in around it, and then they obviously are singed, and he just roars in fury. His eyes are kind of weird to look at, actually. Like he's Ereq, you can see his pupils are very small. Change
Get
places.
bigger pupils, idiot.
He crits you.
Oh shit.
Who, me?
Okay.
Yeah, you.
Okay. Well,
He crits you, and also 17. I don't know if that was.
I don't think it does. No, that is my AC, so that's
Hey.
fine. Yeah, fuck it. My 4th level spiny shield is going to be helpful for both of those. I almost did 5th.
Can you please make me a strength save? There she is.
Yes.
Oh wow. Was it the dog?
No,
Okay.
no. Just I think my computer had an aneurysm.
I'm going to use my inspiration as well.
Nice.
15.
I'm okay with 15, but I feel like it's not going to be enough. Look, there's a 16. There you go.
Yes, you pass. So you don't get knocked.
Also not
prone.
enough.
No, you pass.
'Kay.
You do not get knocked prone. So how much damage do you block?
Wow, a lot.
19.
19.
Yeah. Even if I add the two together, it only does 18. In fact, no.
Even with the crit.
17. Yeah. Oh, so that's a point. It is a crit. Thank you. 27.
That was the primary reason I did it.
Right. 27 is the damage. On the first?
minus...
Minus 19, so yeah, 6.
Nice.
6?
No, 8, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not in the head state to do maths, but that doesn't seem right.
So,
Okay.
very good. The second attack, however, won't. Actually, 12.
And he takes that damage twice, right?
Yeah, he would. So, but he's only gonna. It only reflects the damage he does. So it'll only reflect.
Yeah, fine.
He is just frantically trying to wail at you to get past.
And as always, my spiny shield looks like quills, which are kind of standing on end, but they're dripping a black substance.
I love it. Cool. It's actually Ereq's turn now.
Oh, would you look at that? My reactions have reset. How is he looking?
Quite beat up. Covered in tar.
What a shame for him. Part of me is tempted to like do a 6-level scorching ray on him. But that
Only part of you.
overkill. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Particularly because I'm in melee with him, so it's going to be at disadvantage. I'm just going to do another primal savagery.
Oh.
That's going to hit. That's a 27.
Yeah, I think it does.
Big money.
And 21 points of acid tar damage.
How do you do this?
Hey.
Sir, I respectfully asked you to stand down. I gave you this opportunity. Be glad that my friends and my grandmother are watching. My talon is covered in tar. I do want to hurt him, but the idea is that the tar will like subdue him, rather than kill.
Right.
It will kill him if nobody does anything about it.
You smother him. I would say you kind of just smear it over his face, and his mouth gets filled with it. Suffocate. And he is.
You kind of tarred and feathered him at the same time.
Yeah. You do that.
I will poke some holes where his nostrils are, so that he doesn't actually suffocate to death, because that would be a bad way to go.
Yeah.
Begrudgingly.
Yeah. It's not.
It's like a few seconds, and then I notice that everyone else is watching.
He's sort of struggling on the ground a little bit. He can't. He's also there's. I think what actually knocks him out is the fact that Bron is still boiling him.
The tar is bubbling.
Yes. Oh, horrible. He's got asphalt on his face. Yeah.
I'll drop concentration once he's down.
Yeah. Don't. Yes. Good. Well done. Thank you. I wonder what that was all about.
I seem to keep pulling you out of trouble. Although this time there was no slime involved, so...
Yes. Yes, thank you, dear. Well done, everybody. Odd.
There wouldn't happen to be a glass of refreshing cold water nearby, would there?
All scattered over the ground, darling. More tea! And no daggers this time.
Please.
It should be worthy to know, about 18 seconds. Guards have just sort of arrived, like, oh my god, what the fuck? The guards who were guarding you, the close guards, were these guards. And she said, yep, go get tea, and maybe a bandage or two.
I I would like to tie these guys up. Please?
I assumed you were doing that. Yeah, you do that. Yeah. They won't be unconscious for long.
Oh yeah, that I want them restrained.
Yeah, you restrain them.
Restrained.
Maybe some soap for the one in tar.
I would like to look for their weapons and examine them without necessarily touching them with my bare talons. I want to look for my talons. Thank you. I am flashing back to the opera assassination and the dagger, which is literally a piece of the plane of death. And so, suspecting that this is a little more windy, I'm looking for that kind of thing.
This is it. You find you check out the glass dagger. It is not dark purple. It is very more sort of a dense.
Pretty.
And yeah, the facets in it are for lavender. Yeah, I'd say that's it is
one way to realign your chakras.
It's roughly dagger shaped, but it's more like it's a really sharp piece of rock that was attached to it.
Yeah.
And it looks like it was bonded. Hilt is a very rough sort of. It's actually, you know what it is? It is tree, kind of like watch the Avengers, and you know how Groot made a handle out of his own for. It's kind of like that. The tree grew, or like it was a piece of wood that has been grown around it to form a rudimentary hilt. It is that. The halberd that the other was using is a standard issue halberd. Does not appear to have any magical problem. That one, you can make an Arcana check if you like about the dagger.
No, I'll do one better. Hey, Bron, Kesh and I
We'll get Bron
were
to
hit
do one.
by this dagger. Would you mind having a look at this without touching it?
Sure.
The last time we were hit by a dagger, we both almost died.
That's true. That's true. I remember that. Maybe also we should check out where the servant went to get tea. Maybe that's where they kept the dagger and stuff. Might be a good place to check out.
Yeah, they did bring food.
Yeah, so where did they bring it from?
Do me a favor and search them. While knife is.
I would like to loot their unconscious bodies, please, DM.
All right.
Since I'm tying them up, it makes sense. I'll then give them a
pick
frisk.
one. If Julio's helping, you can both roll investigation checks. Kesh, which one are you tying?
I'll take the streak.
Okay.
I'll use my pirate knots. I'll use my pirate knots to tie up the other one.
Yep. And an investigation check, please.
Okay.
I got a 16 for an Arcana check, but I might add a flash of genius to make that 21.
Very well. This is. Actually, it reminds. Speaking of.
What part? Oh.
Yeah.
But it's wind.
Yeah.
But as you examine it.
Oh, I am definitely going to be like, Julio?
Yes?
This reminds me of the lighthouse from a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it flashed green, which if you remember what I'm thinking of, yeah, that might be a bit interesting.
if I look at it, does it also flash green, or is it just for Mr. Braun over here?
You can make an Arcana check, but yeah, we'll come.
Yep.
Oh, and also everyone, it's
okay,
from the web plane of wind. But sorry, keep going.
16.
Yeah, 16.
Julio, you get. He just told you air magic. So, your experience in the power was a little different to Bronze. This is actually more what Bronze. In fact, I would say the green in the tower was Kingsley. That you remember.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
Bron is different thing that he has sort of not really remembered. It's sparking a bit in his he does a place in his that's kind of the vibe of it.
So in my mind, does this like with the memory stuff that we just discussed with Ereq, does this seem similar? That like strange, doesn't connect logically feeling of it.
Yeah, I'd say pretty fair. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What does this remind you of, Bron?
Also, just quick to double check, the green as in like the flash of light that through the clouds, like from Kren? Was that a green light?
Oh, Kren was purple. Kren is dead.
Purple.
No. I'm remember, and I could be pretty sure there was a flash that when Bron realized, and it was his own magic. I think it was more life Bron. Bron.
Yes. That makes sense. Yep, cool.
But it was sort of the gift he gave in exchange for what he has.
Yes. Okay, cool. So I don't know why this particular green, it reminds me of the dream that we had, the lighthouse, but I don't know why, but I think I don't know, it's like there's bits missing. But this is the green. This is the green of the lighthouse. That it was definitely there. I don't know where though.
Bron, you're a smart man. What does this remind you of? This conversation?
Smart man. Is he wise? No, he's not. Don't know.
Weird gaps in memory, things that should make sense but don't. There seems to be a lot going on about that recently.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Well, I feel like you're jumping to conclusions.
I feel like you're jumping on my pee-pee. I don't trust all of this stuff. I think there's been a lot of here's what I think.
Shit fuckery.
Shit fuckery. Me and Bron, we went to a different plane of existence, to like a dreamscape. You talked about going into the dream mind stuff. Well, we've been to one of those. And it doesn't look like Bron remembers everything that happened there. So.
I remember, like, I needed something. And then there was the green. Like, I needed it a lot. But that's it.
Well, that's how I lost my eye. I had to give it up for us to defeat Kren.
Yeah. Your eye doesn't hurt, does it?
No, it doesn't. I mean, it went through so many like iterations that it does. It's like a prostitute in the port. You know, there's like things going in and out like every day. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Gaping.
Yeah.
Put a patch.
I did have to. Yeah, I did have to hammer it out of your head. I remember that.
We have so
Well,
many great times too.
We do,
we should-
but this is weird.
We should definitely take this.
Yeah.
Ereq, is that okay if we take this?
Please do. I don't want anything to do with it. If you want it, it's yours. Go for it. It might help you on the thing that I was about to tell you about before we so rudely
Oh,
interrupted.
yes.
Kesh, between you and Julio, you also find a small pocket of shells in the.
Would these be listen perchance?
They do look a little bit like it. Indeed, you hear, Kesh, as you pick them up, a whispering in here, a sing-songing urge to put one up. It will
Stop that! I smack
give
it
you
out of
the
her
answers.
hand.
Actually, Ereq, I'm gonna say you do not have the presence of mind.
Oh shit.
Do I need to roll something to see if I resist the siren
I'd
call?
say so. Can I get a wisdom save? Not a particularly high DC.
Aye, aye.
23,
Yeah.
baby!
Yeah.
Nice.
The call
nice.
of illicit substances holds no sway!
You see it,
Only
and
theft.
I
What a
reckon
narc.
you make you make eye contact with Ereq, and you both
And I'm like-
acknowledge that you
Oh,
he
shit.
could hear that too, that urge, but you both just sort of tamp it down.
Bunch of drugs, yelling about traders. It's a good day.
We were rectifying that.
The traders or
But the drugs, I dealt with that.
oh, we are dealing with that. But
Drugs are an epidemic. It really
Not-
requires a war on them in order to.
it's that
Oh,
Corvum
please.
family, the
God,
Stadlers.
no. Just look. Hey, we've got the answer. We've got the muffle. It's fine. Oh,
Is an epic demo. Yeah. I heard that too. So she says, well, you want to slap one of them awake? I want to hear what they have to say.
If someone's returned with a tea tray, I'm going to take a glass
Oh.
of water off it and throw it
Yeah.
in this chick's face.
What about my other guy? The 17.
I counted that together with Kesh's. That's what you
Oh,
counted.
okay, sweet.
Yeah, they didn't have
Okay,
much
okay.
else on them. Nothing you wouldn't expect. If anything, a 17, you just like, this was a day at the office. They were just at their job. They didn't come with prepped anything else.
Okay. My biggest concern would be like, do they have any signs of them being part of the cult that used to be with the Ari and everything? Like, do they have any insignia, any strange wounds, anything that would like link them back to those dudes?
No. Indeed, Iari can say,
Okay.
these two are part of my standard detail.
oh, you knew them?
Yes. Charles is
Weird.
one of my regular. When I'm off hours, he's one of the ones who stands guard at the door. Obviously, they take turns and no time and keep alert, and also mean to us. But it's in the job description, and they're both very good at it. I have a good relationship with Charles, and I'm the
Strange.
godmother of Sandra's wedding, Sandra's nephew, Sandra's son. Sorry. Glad you didn't kill her,
Wow.
and I hope she can be rehabilitated. I don't know what's over her. If it is the drug, maybe it can be fixed. I'm glad you didn't kill her.
DM, I would like to cast. Well, assuming that she is rousing.
Yeah.
From me throwing water in her face.
Yes.
I would like to cast Zone of Truth.
There are now 3 other
Yeah.
guards in the room. One of whom is standing at Iari. But like they are prepared, but not like anticipating more scuffle. You cast Zone of Truth and then rouse Sandra.
Okay, she is. So the rules are.
He has to make a wisdom save to lie.
Every time they go to speak, on a failed save, the creature can't speak a deliberate lie while within the radius.
Yeah.
And I know whether they've succeeded or failed. They're aware of the spell and can thus avoid answering questions to which it would normally respond with a lie.
Yeah.
Such
Oh, good. I
a
know how the thing.
creature can be evasive in answers as long as it Go.
Cool. As you splash the water in her face, Yari says, Sandra, why? And Sandra says, the master told me to.
Who's the master?
Here's master. He awaits high in the hill. Allies gather to him to return when the deed is done. Hear the wonders he has to share.
Sandra, have you been doing drugs?
No.
And I like hold up one of the little shells.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He looks confused, like Kesh insight, but yeah, insight.
Can I inspire Kevin? I forgot that I'm a bard and I can do that.
You can if you like, but a 31's pretty
31.
good.
Yeah, that's okay. She doesn't need to use it here, just in general for
Yes,
the
you have a bardic inspiration, a D8, I think.
Woo!
Yes, sir.
Yeah. She fucked thing. No, yeah. She has never seen it before. She's confused and a bit disgusted at the notion.
What's the last thing you remember, Sandra? Huh.
Interesting.
Who were you here to stab?
All of you. Except him. Looking at...
Interesting.
Hey!
Hey, Braun, do you know about the master? You fucking traitor.
I have no idea, but yeah.
Iari leans in and says, Sandra, Morningside. And Kesh, she says, and the look on her face is immediate recognition, and you're like, yes, that's where the master will be.
What's Morningside?
The village, town, really, on the far side of the mountain.
It's where Sobel is, right?
It is where I have heard that Sobel is.
Oh, I feel a call to adventure. Sandra, when did the master first speak to you?
It feels like he's all... Never shown any other but like...
So the master wanted you to stab all of us except for Bron and then go meet him.
Yes.
Right. Do you know what the
truth?
Yeah.
The truth. All of it.
About
why we are here, how we can make it better and beautiful.
Is it not?
Ron actually trying to logic a bad woman.
I just trying to see what is this master trying to reveal? Like,
I would remind that What was Pavoni Thousand Eyes kept.
Hmm.
Do you know what the master looks like, Sandra?
I would know. Humblewood.
Would you associate a particular element with the master? You know, like earth, air, wind, fire, that sort of dealio. Do you get a vibe?
No. She is the answer. She just looks confused. The word she says is glory.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And where did you get the knife? Hmm.
I agree. At least until we know that the drug has worn off.
Maybe in a cell
Mm.
pretty far away from the magician guy we found at the base of the tree, just in case they, I don't know, talk.
Actually, he's the reason I knew about Sobel. He's been talking.
That's good.
Yes.
But just in case.
Oh no, yes, absolutely. Don't disagree. Lewis has been very helpful. Mentioned more. And unfortunately, it's nowhere near Windfall. Somewhat ironically named town, actually. Fun with it. Oh, that's actually a thought. Maybe your friend could lift.
Yes.
He'll obviously be recompensed. Head off. Now, I think this one is very much in your remit, and I mean, you could till morning, but I think this is just going to keep happening. I'll double the guards.
Yeah. And ideally, we can get there before he finds out his assassination attempt has failed.
Yes.
As long as we can have a sleep on the Hescalia on the way over.
I'm sure that can be arranged.
Yeah. She wraps this all up. She's like, you have the information she needs you to have, and of a task. She puts her hand on Ereq's arm. Says, "Don't be so certain." That knife. You're better at saying any opportunity. Waited. Done it before she could get tea. But it was specifically 4 of you, which would have made it significantly harder if she. Aircraft not. So why had no chance? And Sobel not an idiot. Even paired, they were good, but they're not that good.
Oh, good, it's a trap.
No. Point I'm making, but this is granny to grandson. But
Sorry.
he got you, Nick. Don't be so certain that wasn't the third to the.
I have given the blade to the person that I trust most to figure out what that Nick will do. So trust in him as I will. And I might remind him that that was kind of the point, and that answer has not been delivered yet.
Oh, as in giving it to Gabby?
No, to Bron.
Oh, Ron tried, and yeah, what it will do and why is
If only there was a way to cast a spell that can identify a magical object and the effects that it has. And if only there was a
That'd
class
be
in
great.
D&D 5th edition that almost always has it available. Well, time to die, I guess.
Tune in next week.
yeah, we find out. Because
Yeah.
I think we'll leave it there. Yeah.
Tune in next week when we all touch random things and die horribly.
Tune in next week when we remember our basic class abilities.
It's simply
That's not
impossible. Yeah. Hey, Castellan, good to see you, mate. Alrighty, well, guys, I think we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for playing with me this evening. Shall we do a quick round of favorite moments? And we need some D5s in chat to determine who gets to go first. Anybody is welcome to D5 exclamation mark roll space the number 5. Thank Tankanto. Number 1. Oh. Reroll. Wrong. Awful. Wrong. All right, favorite DM moments.
I really liked our conversation with the tenders. Definitely, I liked that you were very open to the different interpretations of the issue and different ways to deal with it. I always love it when we like to have kind of like a flight of fancy in a little bit to find our own way to defeat whatever the problem is, and I like that you allow it.
Piggybacking off of that, one specific moment in that conversation when Kesh brought up that Ereq didn't remember hope, I heard you go, "Well, you mean the concept of?" Oh wait, no. Oh, that just got me. I was like, "Yeah, perfect. There's got to be one in a group, right? There's got to be someone." I loved it.
What I heard from that, the subtext of Josh going, "Oh, we literally had this exact same gag in the last conversation of last episode. It's not worth us spending energy and time on this again."
Yeah. Just gonna nod to it and move on. Yeah.
Mine was similar as well. Inventing tender NPCs and then dealing with our cosmic bullshit at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I wrote those names down. It wasn't for this, but I'm glad that I did. Karen?
Anyone else?
I'm thinking.
What about a favorite self while Karen is finding
one? My favorite self, getting us back on track.
That's pretty good. That's pretty powerful. Not everyone can do it.
I don't think so. It's a good move if we can do it. No, I like. I actually am going to say that, but not for actually like bringing the story back to do today. It is the managing all of your spitballing and also knowing what I want to happen. And yeah, just remembering all of the other bits and pieces and trying to remind you of all the stuff that I've this is the problem about playing for such an extended period of time, and it's not your fault. It's like, hey, I told you this one piece of random information that wasn't necessarily relevant 3 years ago. Why don't you remember? So yeah, keeping all of that, keep all the balls in the air, helping you interpret the information I've given you in the way that I want it to be interpreted without just like shoehorning you into the solution I want to solve. Says at you in DM. What? Yeah. And yeah, letting you come up with your own solution is about the really fun to see all of these. So I suppose it's my favorite me moment in that I'm enjoying just seeing what you guys are doing with what I'm giving you. So my favorite me was all of that data that you've taken and made make sense, and seeing how it has been.
I had it, now it's gone again. Shit.
No.
My brain. I had a
Well,
nice
then-
compliment and now I can't remember what it was.
I know, Castellan, and I have a sound gate on because there is an awful lot of ambient noise. Karen and I are massively out of sync. You probably hear me through Karen's mic every now and again. My sound gate is on, and it's a bit of a pain in the ass to pick up a whole bunch of random noise or occasionally sentences.
I can't remember what I was going to say, but I did enjoy the victuals.
Yeah.
Alrighty, cool. Well then, let us talk about... Yes, I've used several old-timey words. One which is actually a little bit offensive if we think about it, and one which is kind of fun. Also, I never mentioned who the absolute heck Frank F. Borman II was. We didn't actually go over that. Frank F. Borman II was the commander of Apollo 8. And what was cool about that is, and I have a thing here, Apollo 8, you have all, pretty confident when I say that you all see something that Apollo 8 did. Apollo 8 astronaut, that picture, up in...
They invented the moon!
Did invent the moon. No, they took the picture Earth-right. In fact, astronaut William Anders that picture, and it's one of the most famous pictures from spaceflight. And the Apollo 8 was the first Apollo mission to orbit the moon. So yeah, they were the first people to take photos of the lunar dark side, and it was kind of an interesting flight. The crew was Frank F. Borman, William Anders, and Jim Lovell.
Hey!
Yeah. Jim Lovell, it was a bit weird actually, because Jim Lovell was a trade out for a different guy, who Michael Collins, who was bumped because he needed surgery on a cervical disc. But don't worry, he got to be the third crew member of Apollo 11. So he did get to go into the history books. He was the one who didn't walk on the moon when the other two did. Neil and Buzz went down. He had to orbit the moon 30 times while they did it. He was the first bloke to do that. Or I think, no, it was
He was keeping the engine warm.
Yeah. He was, he did set a couple of his own records. He was the first person to walk in space twice. Was Colin, so he did okay.
Just not Apollo 11.
What was odd was that Lovell had already commanded a space mission and was a more experienced astronaut than Frank F. Borman. Yet Borman was the commander before Lovell was put on the team. So it was unusual for Lovell, who had already commanded Gemini 12, to be subservient to a guy who had less time in space than he, which was interesting. But they'd also flown together on Gemini 7, which was also a very first. No one had ever gone up together before, like gone again. They always rotated the crews, which I feel a bit is like weird. Like, you've got a good working arrangement, maybe keep a group together. I don't know, but evidently they had a different opinion.
Mind you, at that point, we didn't really know what the effect of multiple trips to space would be on the human body, so
absolutely.
that might have been part of it.
They were spreading the load significantly, but yeah, of course, Jim Lovell, very famously, the mission commander of Apollo 15. So Lovell did an awful lot of space missions. He's also still alive. The other two died in the last couple of years, but Jim Lovell is still alive, which is freaking cool. Yeah, the other two, Frank F. Borman and William Anders, both died in the last 2 years. One in 20. Very long-lived crew. So yeah, no, very safe mission on that one. Anyway,
my favorite Jim Lovell moment is him still being alive.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Nice.
Let us go on to Dario favorite moments. I just got to. I love space. Favorite Dario moments, because a one was rolled. The ultimate cutscene.
Dealing with being put in the hot spot by Ereq and having to defend against
Taking a
all of
god
these
against
tender NPCs. Like, hold on, you're doing what? And doing a pretty good job of justifying herself, and like that that conversation could have easily led somewhere differently of like, okay, Ereq, you're fired. You're all going to jail. We're calling the God Police. But I think Julio played no small part in winning them over.
I personally enjoyed your interaction. Yeah, I think that chicken and egg argument, and I should have called it Gallus and egg. Yeah, was really interesting. Just and getting to the roots of what he is prepared to do.
I always love just how Julio has no regrets about this whole business. It's like, may have inadvertently played a part in, you know, plane crossing catastrophe. And he's like, nah, I did it. I raised the Elder Heart. It was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I'm cool. I'm cope.
It's my first time playing like a character that is so on board with the religion, and it's really really fun because usually like it's you either get embroiled in it against your will, or you're like a skeptic. But it's a very modern notion, and I'm interested in exploring this very like pious, very like belief oriented character. It's very fun because it gives me a very strong motivation in any like conversation that surrounds us. So it's very fun, very fun. I like it.
I've got two lines that I wrote down, which are my favorite point. The first one is excuse me, that's Pope switchgear. Just like surrounded by the hostile like hall of people. Excuse me, name me correctly, thank you. And the other
What
one
is a pope?
is
Oh no. No, John.
He'll be back.
Come back.
Well,
Someone else flat.
I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, he's already done one. Karen?
I think everyone said one, right?
Yeah, I already did one.
I can say favorite self, which is I really liked talking to Iari, and when she demanded to explain what dragon business was happening, and I'm like, oh, it's so much. So it was just fun.
It's like, wait, which dragon? Oh, there's been two. You know, I'm very good friends with both of them.
They're great. You have yet to speak to the other one, but all right.
Yeah, this is a session of me trying to explain very complicated matters to people, and it's very silly.
That's a 2, which is Aaron, favorite Kesh moment. When John gets.
I really like that Kesh is getting very adept at interrogation, getting them tied up. Getting the truth going. We're in there. We're going.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I wrote down a small moment of it was part of that same conversation, I think, of Julio saying, I'm proud of having done what I've done with the Older Heart. And you saying, Kesh saying, we know.
It's like your lack of repentance has been noted.
Ereq felt very vindicated there.
I enjoy. I enjoyed you never remembering. No.
Yeah.
I enjoyed, the specific your reaction. Oh, Castellan is enjoying the smooth jazz currently. Yeah, Sirenscape has decided to finally do it. It'll always play smooth jazz. Sometimes it'll keep playing smooth jazz long after I tell it.
I was on your computer once, and I had the headphones in. I was working on something, and I could just hear this whistling wind noise, and it took me like a solid 45 minutes to tweak that Sirenscape was just quietly playing a wind sound effect in the background.
Further to the whole interrogation getting good at thing, I liked your going down the rabbit hole with her as she was like the master, and you kind of lean in. Yes, tell me. Almost good copped it, and I really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
And John's gone away, so have your favorite self.
John doesn't get to compliment me. I did kind of enjoy that, end up with this very intense conversation with the tenders, and Kesh was just kind of sitting back with Bron going, I'm just gonna let them talk this out.
Yeah.
Tea? We'll just chill. We'll just, they've got some feelings. We'll just
I also like that you asked for cold water, a glass of cold water. I was like, I assumed Kesh was out of breath or like thirsty after a fight. It was to throw in the guard's face to wake her back up. I didn't clock that at all. I just rolled John, so let's talk about Ereq first.
I have another great quote from Ereq. Sorry, I woke up from a puddle of goo 3 hours ago.
I think retelling the dream was very good, very well done. And I really liked the I like the way you put it, that Older Heart said basically against me, and then did adjust that as now I'm thinking about it. It getting at that I am the only one. I'm probably best situated. Impede rise if was interesting. That's. I'll tell you for free. That is what the Older Heart was getting at. That was. It was an interesting sort of like Ereq working.
I enjoy how he's simultaneously really annoyed at what Julio's been up to, but also resigned to the fact that, Julio's done this and it's happening. So
yeah, make a piece.
Secretly a little proud of Julio for doing this,
but very
yes, very secretly.
I have to if I ask the zone of truth on, you'll decline to answer the question.
Yes, my beak is sealed.
He returns.
He's gone.
He's gone again.
Una memento.
There you go. That'll do.
Oh no. No, A.
It sounded like you were gargling a robot.
Oh no. Stupid Australian. Oh, not even on purpose.
There he goes again. Okay.
There he goes again.
That idea really put him off. Any other
Ereq moments? I have one.
Talking Ereq moments.
I liked how a little bit stinky he was towards Havel and the rest. Like, hey, I'm the boss, and they're like, no, you're not. What? It was so funny. I like that.
No, you carry on.
If we're doing Ereq moments, I mean, it wasn't really Ereq moment; it was more a Brendan moment. But don't worry, we'll get it right on the night. There was just this lovely blend of like very serious, but also like very serious from Ereq, but poking the fun from Brendan. And I loved the juxtaposition in that whole conversation. That was great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I do have one other, and it's the absolute bullshit with Bob and his wife. This insert character that you're deciding, and it's very
Bob
funny.
is my NPC.
Yes.
Bob has.
I'm just obliged
so
to
much
play
lore.
him.
Yeah.
I feel
You're
like we
lucky
need
enough to play him.
I think we need to do a one-shot sometime that's just like the
Bob.
Ballad of Bob, and just Bob goes on an adventure.
Bob loses another wife.
Bob doesn't even have a
And then
surname.
gets remarried in the same episode.
Bob's actually a serial killer
Canonically-
who's been knocking his wives off for no life insurance.
Yeah, Bob is canonically poly, so it's not a big a deal. Yeah, as in, like,
He's got
already got one.
backup wives.
He's got, well, not so much that, but he's got one cooking. Like, it's not like, like, I'm obviously, he would still, like, I'm not saying any poly person wouldn't be like, oh no, the person I love has died. It's more like but fortunately for me, I do have another person here to comfort me, who I also am in love with. There is an element of, you do have a backup, even if it's not like that. The reveal is that Bob is in fact your auntie. Yeah. Favorite self, Brendan?
Probably. I mean, I did enjoy the Bob thing. I was cooking on that from last episode. There's a couple of things actually. I think the thing that I enjoyed the most was keeping track of all the things that has happened since Ereq lost consciousness and hasn't been updated about yet.
Yeah.
So as those things get casually dropped in conversation, getting to react to that, I quite enjoyed.
Yeah.
But also
Fucking dragon.
Also kind of leading this conversation about, well, let's follow this idea of the Elder Heart becoming a god. Let's follow that thread to its own conclusion. And really, like, making it clear for the characters involved and also kind of the players and the DM of like, well, what does this actually mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a fun conversation to have as well.
Alrighty, favorite Braun, and then we are done. Favorite Braun moments.
Oh, does John have a favorite Karen moment? Favorite Kesh
Oh
moment?
yeah.
Yes. There was a couple. I mean, I liked the fact that I like the fact that Kesh ran in with a sword drawn. When like there was some room maybe to back up, but like nah, Kesh is gonna protect Yari with a sword. Yeah, I like that. But I also liked Sandra, have you been doing drugs?
Oh.
Great. Absolutely perfect.
After having performed a forced mental recalibration on himself.
Like, Sandra, you seem a little incoherent. Have you been doing drugs? Definitely wasn't the multiple blows to the head.
This didn't happen. All right. Favorite Braun moments.
I wrote down, it's an older word, sir, but it checks out.
Yeah, no, that was great.
So, something I wrote down, it was just a small thing, but probably Havel or one of the other tender NPCs saying, hey, Bron, can you and Bob tell us about your plans for Listen? And very enthusiastically going, oh yeah!
Oh yeah, that drug we made up. Yeah.
Yeah.
In a similar vein, the moment where Sandra's like, yes, we had to kill all of you, but not him, and Bron's like, oh fuck yeah!
Hey!
They didn't want me dead! Yay!
If they succeeded, I would have been fine.
I don't know
Emotionally,
what
maybe not, but
that's
physically.
about yet, because I'm pretty sure Bron was involved in fucking over the airplane. So we will figure out what that's
In the
about.
most recent,
I'm
but not Sobel.
Yeah, Sobel
Yeah.
doesn't know.
Ron doesn't know
about
who
Ron.
Sobel is.
Yeah.
Never met the Don't worry, you know.
Bit of a dick. Don't know if
Yeah,
you've worked
bit of
that
an
out.
asshole. Did try and like topple the older heart government at one point. Like, guys will feel. He's the reason Iari is now. Indirectly, like every time someone has made a play to like do something bad, these guys have gone like, you know what? Actually, you pointed it out. This is shit, and let's make it better, not worse. And they've actually worked against goals. My favorite Braun. I love flipping out the bark blade. My favorite, the reason I enjoy it is because you have more effective options, but it's very cool, and I'm really glad to see it. I'm like, good, yes.
Yeah, I've discovered it's a lovely combination with something that pushes someone back 15 feet when it has a reach of 15 feet.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also enjoy getting to play into your backs.
Yes, I'm excited.
Yeah, cool. Anybody else?
Well, I mentioned mine already.
Oh,
but,
did you? I'm sorry.
I can come up with something else if you want.
Yep.
Yes.
No. Yeah, favorite self, John.
I think adventures are hard. Was probably the bit I liked because that whole thing. One was just like, yeah, I hadn't thought of any of this. I hadn't really considered any of this. And now that you bring it up, everyone's got a very valid point. I agree with everyone. Yeah, I think it's a bit of a wake-up call for him, because so far he's just been like, yay, we're kind of on a fun adventure. And then suddenly like, oh, we have to decide the fate of planes of existence. Oh, I'm not equipped for this. Yeah. Whereas everyone else seems to be completely okay with making these choices.
Yeah, I think Karen
Does Ereq seem okay?
Julio
with these
definitely
choices?
does. I think Kesh always plays quite
He's
well.
not molting excessively with bloodshot eyes. He's cool.
I think Kesh always plays the
fine.
oh fuck quite well.
Yeah.
Once again, I am out of my depths.
Like, I'm not
Let me fetch my
qualified for
wading pants.
Yeah. I just make shit that's fun.
Yeah. All right. Guys, we've been streaming for a gosh darn while, so we will go away from here and find raid. We are proudly supported by Trollord Games and Wooten Forge. Check them out at their respective links in chat. TLG and WF. There we go. Those ones. The music that was until recently gracing your ears is from Sirenscape. Guys, who the absolute heck are you? Brendan?
I am Brendan. I'm an actor and director and LARPer and role player and DM and cool guy.
Yep. Karen?
I'll be here next Thursday. That's,
Yeah,
that's
you
all
are.
I have to
Pretty
plug.
good.
There we go. I'm Karen, sometimes known as the mother of bunnies. I'm a performer, a writer, an internet addict. You can catch me back here next Thursday, or probably on Tuesday, getting mad at Discworld 2 mortality bias, because you know that you just make too many crazy decisions, and I just lose the track. Let's just lose the train of thought. The train goes off the tracks. I scream. Hopefully, people are entertained.
You may well be back on Monday.
Siri keeps.
For some.
Oh yes, we might do roll table for 2 on Monday.
Roll table for 2.
Siri has been really annoying today, so be cute, thanks.
In the second act, she was. Hey, John, who the heck are you?
Yeah.
Hi, my name's John. I'm a performer, longtime friend of the show. Don't have really anything else to plug, so come back next Thursday for more.
Love it. And Daria.
My name is Daria. I've been playing Julio, the best pope in town, and I'm an artist. If you want some art, you know where to find me. That's it.
Love it. Daria is our channel artist, made all the wonderful artwork for the channel. And I be Josh the Pirate. You
Yes,
can find
sir.
me here on my channel, Corsair's Cove, where I run D&D and other RPG-related games with me lovely wife Karen, the mother of bunnies, and all my splendid friends. So yeah, but you know that because you've done it. You're already here. You've been, and it's been lovely having you guys. We are going to go away and raid Roll One to Explode, who is doing miniatures and model making with a D&D bent. I'm pretty sure well, so we're going to drop a raid over on them. Show them love like we always do. Throw your favorite raid emotes up in chat, and we will see you same bat time, same bat channel next week for some more D&D and other wonderful things like that. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Whee!